Okay, people, it's party time. We're here, watch party, and world champs. My guests are going to be a bit late. They're busy today. It's obviously a Saturday, a very, very busy day. You get to hang out with Nathan for the watch party. This is all things, essentially, you're just hanging out with a couple of people on screen chatting about what the heck is going on with the world championships as they go on. I'm really happy to see how many people have shown up in chat actually here. Super, super fun. And I think it's kind of funny that you guys are like so excited to hang out here and chat about the world championships. What a monumental day. Obviously we had world championships last week, but not last week, last year. But for some reason, I just get this feeling, and I'm looking at all the hype that's around this and everything, and I just get the feeling that this is a huge, like, everybody senses that this is, I don't know, like, monumental right now. It's really this moment in history where I just feel like the community in real life racing, the way in which that the sport is just landing, it feels like, with the public. So good to see everybody hanging out in chat, you guys. Anna Russel is here. She's getting ready. It's 10 minutes actually to the start of the women's race right now. Anna, actually hanging out in chat here right now, is DSing the New Zealand race. So, well, not the New Zealand race, but the New Zealand team. So good to see. I'm seeing Ed Mode in chat as well. So I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for the first like 30 minutes or so. So essentially, y'all better behave because this is the screen that we're going to get for now. So you guys get to come on in, and you're my guest commentators until Anna gets here. For the men's race, we will have Reese Hull for the from Canyon Coalition for the men's for the women's race for after about a half hour or so. I don't know what he's doing, if he's driving to get to the ZCL studios or what's going on there. But as soon as that he does jump in here, we will be bringing Reese in as well. See Anton saying I was going to watch on Eurosport, but for some reason it's not even. Oh, interesting. Huh. They did go live, though. If you want to watch the live coverage, this obviously is not the spot to watch the live coverage. That is all going to be on Zwift's main site. So I can actually see Matt Stevens right now talking about the Pinarello. I don't know why he's talking about the Pinarello. Oh, is he doing like his Zwift setup? Is that what's going on there? He's probably telling you how it is Zwift. Because there's probably a bunch of people watching that have never done the Zwift thing before. So there is that reality that there's going to be a whole bunch of people coming in. Because remember, people, like, we live in this ecosystem, right? If you're here on Zwift Community Live right now, you live in this ecosystem that, or this niche that the rest of cycling, like some people might be doing it or have heard of it, obviously. If you haven't heard of Zwift at this point, I don't know what rock you're living underneath, but there's a reality that you've been introduced in some way. But a lot of the cycling world out there that might pay attention as a fan of cycling, might not have had any experience about how this even works. So it looks like they're actually doing something with showing you how to even Zwift. Road to qualification, pretty awesome to see. I was actually a part of the qualification commentary, which was a lot of fun to commentate on. It was really cool to see. And this is something to talk about, you guys. Ashley Moon and Pasio actually coming in. You can see there, Jason Osborne coming from Germany. The returning champions. Chat, let me know in chat right now. Predictions. How are the returning champions going to do? Let's talk about that. Then we can talk a little bit about the qualification as we wait for the race to start. We've got about 7 minutes to the start of the women's race. So, chat, what do you think about the returning champions? Do they got a chance? I want to hear right now predictions about that. Watch it on the big TV, but have Nathan on the phone. Appreciate that, Duncan Ray. The Jabba Cat goes meow. What Jabba? What's going on with being meow? So what do you think, people? In chat, what is going on? GCN is also, GCN Plus also has it live. Darren is letting us know. I didn't know that. But they are also live over on Zwift's main YouTube. So let me know about that. Or go check that out to make sure to watch the live coverage. This will not be the live coverage. Zoe Langham will be the world champion. I'm seeing from John H. Letting us know that's what he thinks. Ashley can do it. Hi from Ohio. Dude, hi from Ohio obviously is got to be one of the longest time subscribers. Or did you just change your name? Because obviously you know what the Zwift venting area is. And Chad, if you know why Hi from Ohio is even a thing, let me know where that came from. If you know where that, no. What world on Zwift did that originate from? Hi from Ohio. And then we know you're really a part of the in crowd. Then we really know you're part of the in crowd. But Hi from Ohio thinks that Ashley can do it. German Roar won't get over that. Really? Did you see what he did last year, Hi from Ohio? Did you see what he did? Now, it was only a minute 20 or whatever versus a closer to 3-minute climb, which is a very different reality, right? Like super different reality that we're talking about here. That climb is going to be absolutely insane for sure when it comes to what they can pull off. Gabriela Schumann is letting us know returning champions, sure chance the climb will clearly separate things. I think this is the racer's course, Gabriela. I think that this is, I was talking to a couple of people yesterday over Discord, and they were like, what's different about this year? The difference this year, this is a racer's course. Like, this is as racer as, this is going to be a very difficult day for people. You're not going to be able to just sit around and wait for that final climb like we saw last year. There was a lot more ability to just kind of sit in, hang out with the pack. I think that this is going to whittle things down this year. Godby is a good pick. Godby is a good pick for sure, Gabriela. Proper Zwift Racers route, much better than last year. I agree with you 100% there, Andy. 100%. 4,000 people watching on the Zwift channel right now. Pretty big, and it's not even started yet. I think we're going to get up in the... I think that we'll get up as it really starts to populate over there. Still going up 4,210, 37. I mean, it's just going to keep going up. We'll hit 5,000 probably before the race even starts. And then from there, who knows? Will we hit 10,000 people viewing over on Zwift's live page? That'd be absolutely amazing if we did. Let's see here. Good luck to all the riders coming in from Steven. You guys are my co-commentators from now. So, Hi from Ohio says, it's funny because I'm actually living in Ohio, even if I race with you at Told. Figure me out. Oh, he's actually from Ohio. I like it. All right, so also, let me know, what did you bring for snacks? This is party time. I've got like 2 LaCroix, and they're going to be green screened out. So I'm actually drinking invisible water. These have the invisibility power up. So, I mean, obviously we're having a party here. It's a watch party. So you had to bring snacks. So chat, what have you brought? And I brought 1 Synergy Raw Kombucha, which has 9 million living probiotics in it. Just so you know. So we're going to be getting boosted here a little bit in our gut. I ran out of cold cuts, though. My kids ate all the cold cuts for my party. They actually, they're all gone. So all I got is cheese with no cold cuts. And they also ate all my crackers. My kids ate all my crackers and all the cold cuts. So instead, we had to bring blue corn chips and goat cheese. And I do got some Gouda here, though. I do got some Gouda. So we've got all kinds of stuff going on when it comes to the watch party snacks. Community rider or pro rider, Zach Harrod? That is a great question. Kids don't suck. Simon, kids are awesome. Come on, Simon. I'll let that through, though. That one got held, Simon. That wasn't behaving. I didn't know YouTube was going to make you behave, though. That one got held. Didn't let it come through. 2 minutes to start the women's race. Kolchinsky for the win. It's a good prediction. I don't know if she's got the kick. You know, in my heart of hearts, I'm good friends with Kristen, and I'd really like to see her win. But can she do it? Now, she's been practicing her kick. I know that she's been training really hard on being able to, because she can climb with the best, obviously. It's not the kind of climb, though, that we saw on Climber's Gambit a couple weeks back, right? It's not that kind of a climb. That's a 15-minute full gas threshold effort. This is like a 3-minute VO2 effort, and I don't know if she's got that kind of a push. We'll have to wait and see. Hi, Nathan. Why doesn't anyone from Latin America participate? It has to do with federations and qualification. So Americas, right? if you were going to be from the Latin American areas and you participated in the qualifiers, you could get a spot. It's not like it wasn't possible, but the federations, if you don't get into the qualification, then the federations have to do the selection. If they're not involved enough with the UCI, it has nothing to do with Zwift. It has nothing to do with anything other than whether or not those federations made a press to get in, right? The opportunity was there, and they just might not have been keyed in or put the resources or the man effort, women effort, the personnel into pushing for those countries to be represented. So that's mainly why. I think top three will be Movement Pasio, Godby, and Gigante. I would have given you the Gigante, but Gigante has been sick. We'll see if she'd come back from. I know that she's been under the weather a little bit, so we'll see if she was able to train enough to get back on. I don't know if you saw a couple weeks back. Keith Robertson. It's a good prediction, 100%, but we'll see if she can be there. I think she was a favorite actually, if if she was actually able to train. But she hasn't been able to train. Women are out on course. All right, here we go. Race has started. Commentary has started with the race live as well over on the Zwift main channel. They got over 5,000 viewers right now hanging out over there. Let's go take a look at. I can show the start list though. So that is, I'm not able to, it's all super locked down as far as being able to show anything. But I can show you all the start list. Let's go ahead and see if I can mess with this. And we'll just show that. So let's go ahead and take a look and see. And I can also show you live as they get out on course, where things are at from Zwift Power. Since everybody has access to Zwift Power, we can look at that. So we'll take little looks at this here and there. They are underway right from the get-go. You can see here 5.0 watts per kilogram kicking off. We'll jump on over here. This is where they're at on course now at this point. As you can see, they've only covered less than a kilometer so far. As we get further into the race, we'll go over here and take a look at how things are playing out between that, to get an idea of just what kind of power people have put out for watts per kilogram throughout. Movement Pasio already averaging way more than everyone else, up at 5.3 watts per kilogram. Maybe a little bit jittery at the moment. What's happening? And wondering if she's 5.2. She definitely kicked right from the get-go just to make sure that she isn't out of contention. Looks like things are super calm right from the get-go here, though. On the front, I'm seeing Australia actually going straight to the front. Funny enough, Kate Bates is actually the one de-essing them. And then Anna Russel is de-essing the New Zealand team as well. So Australia, New Zealand have some head-to-head right now, which is a lot of fun with our commentary team. So they're battling right now out on course with their riders, and Anna and Kate competing against each other, which is pretty fun to see. Okay, chat, let's go ahead and see what you all have to say. Facebook, sorry, I haven't been paying any attention to you. I just realized we're actually live over on Facebook as well. And I've got 15 comments that I actually haven't paid any attention to, as well as Twitch. Good to see you, Carissa, over at Twitch, F4R2 as well. Michael Catfield saying, shout out to Sarah Gigante and her return to racing, 100%, Michael. Zwift, where else can you ride a TTT with a pro's dad? It gives a close community feel around healthy habit. 100% there, Michael. Love that comment coming in. Zwift might have 5K viewers, but they don't have Nathan G. Thanks, Power Kite Man. I mean, it's not a competition. This is definitely a party to hang out here. I appreciate the comment, though. Who's going back for the bottles? That's a good question, Simon Tuck. I am right now. Let's go ahead and open up my LaCroix. Now, okay, I got to make sure that I keep an eye on things here, though, because Reese Howell is going to be joining us a little ways into the broadcast. I'll actually hear him in my ears. I actually have his audio open. Hopefully he doesn't start swearing the second that he comes in. I know that his coalition crew and the race to the underground can be a little bit more wild. Do you see this guy's hand in our video? It like comes up through chat. It like comes up and does this little thing and over the top of your chat there, though. Fun to see. All right, so first little kick here for the women. It looks like Godby went right to the front, actually, which is interesting. Jackie Godby, I don't think she's really making a move, but she's setting a good tempo, 6.4 watts per kilogram from Godby. Now, guys, what do you think about the power-up situation? Do you like it? Do you like that each one of the banners has different power-ups that you can gain, and it's not random? Like, everybody's going to get the same power-up going through each one of those banners. Personally, I think that was a great idea. Godby's pushing. Team USA have a plan. They are not sitting in, and they are definitely interested in making a press here. There's already a rider off the back, though. Liz Van Houweling? No. Who's off the back? There's a couple of riders already getting dropped on the first climb. We're seeing the rider from Spain here, Hortada, Fang here as well, coming Singapore. Ten Hartog here from Belgium off the back. Ahmad is also off the back, so already people getting dropped. Gigante at the back here, it looks like. I don't know, and hopefully she has recovered really well here, but it looks like Sarah struggling with the pace already. Interesting enough to see, and Ella Harris as well. Obviously, that push there from Jackie Godby, 7 watts per kilogram. The Germans went to the front too that we saw. So, already things getting really spicy. And because of the nature of this course and the women's racing field and the nature of the women's, I think that this is going to get blown up. Already from what we're seeing here, you guys, I have a feeling that this is not going to be a holding hands type situation. This is going to be like a very whittled down, complete body blow after body blow, as Dave Toll would say. Donnybrook time coming at us here, people. Watts per kilogram so far. It looks like minimum to make the... All right, let's talk about this. Mary Corliss, 3.8 watts per kilogram. The Irish woman. Really, really smart riding. Alice Lethbridge, 3.9 to sit in. Everybody else over 4. We've got a few riders here who've been really smart so far and are under 4 watts per kilogram. The entirety of the rest of the field is over 4, easily. Zoe Langham, 4.7 right now. So now it's starting to calm down, but there are definitely some riders here who have really been practicing their drafting, it looks like. Is somebody 8 seconds off the front? There isn't a gap, is there? Who are they having an interview with? Oh, Gigante. They're having an interview with Sarah Gigante beforehand that they brought in. We'll see how she goes. All right, chat. I'm paying attention to you again. Sorry, the race just got super intense there for a second. Carson, power riders need to make the climbers hurt right now. I still think Gigante will be okay. Watch her on the first climb. We'll see. Good call there, Keith. We'll see what happens. Godby should make them hurt before all the hills. Karsten, I do think that is probably the tactic that's being used there for Godby, because there's a reality. There's just a reality that I think that if they're able to put some sting in the legs, they can really set up Kolchinsky. And I think that, we were talking about this during the broadcast, actually, on Thursday and on Wednesday. Anna and I were having a little bit of a conversation. And I think that you want to use every bit of the resources that you have in the riders. And, why wait till the final climb, right? And then once you get to that final climb, you just get dropped. And you're what? Are you going for a top 10 with your riders? Okay, that's cool, but you want to win the jersey, right? You want to win world championships as Team USA, as Team Great Britain, whoever it is. And if you just have riders sit in, what were they there for? What were those resources there for? And so there's going to be riders, their job is going to be, I would think, to like close down gaps that get opened up or to make things hurt. Like their job is going to be to make sure things stay together or things get blown apart, that you put the hurt in the legs with some of the riders. So, that'll be their job up front. And then the job of some of the riders is going to be the winning ride. So hopefully these teams are showing up with a plan to make sure that things stay interesting, if that makes sense. 6,000. Will we hit 10K over on Zwift's feed? It'd be pretty cool if we did. Man, think about that. How many people are watching worldwide? Because if this is live with 6,200 riders or 200 watchers over on Zwift, where else is this live? Pretty amazing to think Esports World Championships has come this far at this point. Turn down the sound and listen to what are we talking about there? Oh gosh. CPC, why no live stream? You mean for us of the broadcast? Head over to Zwift's page. Guys, if you're looking for the broadcast, here's where you can find it. If you don't know where the broadcast is, there it is. That's the broadcast for the race. It's live over on Zwift's YouTube channel. You can head over there if you're looking for the UCI's coverage of that. We don't have any. I mean, it's like the Olympics, you guys. Like, there is seriously some very, very serious rights to the media of the World Championships that the UCI owns. So, yeah, we definitely don't have that here on Zwift Community Live at the moment. I'm listening to Nathan while me at the race. I love Hannah and Matt. I love Hannah and Matt. Kristen looking super calm right now. Her heart rate is always really high though. Like even when things are calm for her, like her heart rate is always way up there. 167 beats per minute. Bring it back a little bit. Imagine being at 207 watts and having 4.1 watts per kilogram, people. Imagine 207 watts being 4.1 watts per kilogram. I mean, holy cow. Right? Napkin with an outboard motor. Christian Kolczynski. Oh, man. All right. Let's see here. Some more chatter coming on through. Monali Keller. That's Aaron's prediction. I like it. Is that Aaron Coles? Anton saying that my link was correct too. Yeah, I probably called your link there, Anton. You think I can trust you? You think we can trust you? Did you behave? Just because you get a power up doesn't mean you have to use it. So you could save an arrow for the finish. Drumcho, that is a great, really, really great point. Everybody gets the same power up. You see a lot of trucks being used right now, actually, in the race by the riders, which, they're going to probably want to use that up and over the top of the first climb here. This is really going to hurt. And the crazy thing we're heading into the first climb. All right, here we go, guys. I'm going to shut up about just little stuff. And this is it here, because things are about to get absolutely wild. This is really where the rubber is going to hit the road. What is going on with my controls here? Oh, that's fun. I'm like stuck on certain views. Okay, come on. Yeah, I guess we're just stuck on this view. Okay, so Langham looks like she's giving it a go. They're going to take the right-hand turn right into the climb, and this is going to be the first separation point. This is the moment everybody has been waiting for. Kolczynski's heading to the front there. Hansen as well. Now, Cecilia Hansen, third place last year. Will she be able to better that this year? For some reason, I just get the feeling that Hansen's more of that punchy Osborne type that we saw in the men's race. Vine's now making her way to the front. Bree Vine, has she been doing some extra work is going to be a question. Will Bree Vine be a threat out here today? 8.7 watts per kilogram. Kate did say, Katie Bates is de-essing them, and she said that Australia was going to show up and make the race fun. She said, we might not get the win, but we're going to make the race fun. Kolczynski, 6 watts per kilogram, 6.5 on the front. Now Passio, she knows exactly who to follow. Moomin, Belforth. This is interesting. All right, separation. What do you think? How many over the top, chat? How many over the top? Justine Barrow's still there? Watch out for Barrow. Good climber. She might be able to grab a top 10. I don't know about the punch. We are seeing it looks like Spain's starting to struggle a little bit. Van Zielst there as well. Simons, Harris off the back. New Zealand struggling as well as Morrison. I think we might have 35 able to make it. Udman barely there. Looks like Australia. This is Australia with Wales, Whitelaw, Katie Banerjee just barely as well. It looks like I think 35 are going to make it. Maybe 40. Now, those are the initial kicks, though. Those are the initial kicks. Now the trucks. Those who saved the trucks for this moment were thinking really well, because those trucks that were blown earlier, that was not the way to go. That was not the way to go at all, you guys. Calmed right on down. 3%-ish now at this point. Now one more kick to the top. Here we go. Wilkinson's has made it. Weissman's made it. Brun's made it. Stevenson's made it. Darheed's made it. Anybody not here that we would have thought would have made this pack? That's the other question. Looking through here, any big upsets that are off the back? Gigante, it looks like, dropped. Yes, she just wasn't able to train, you guys. I mean, dude, when I had COVID, I didn't get back to full form for a month. Like, not even full form. I shouldn't say full form. I wasn't even able to get back to training for a month after symptoms were gone, you guys. Like, it is so difficult to come back from. Now, though, I'm like superhuman, it feels like. Like, it's like I'm even better than before, but it takes a while to get back. So, you know, I think that's what happened. I'm pretty sure she had COVID. And she was sick for sure. So it takes a long time. And she was just getting over symptoms, you know, a little over a month ago. So, you know, I think just getting back on the bike, tough. If NZ gets dropped, does Anna join the No, Anna said she's going to hang out with her. No, she's going to hang out with the girls and really spend some time there with them to the end there. So, looking through here, some more chatter. Strong GB team for sure, Simon. Who's all made it from Great Britain, actually? Charlotte's made it, it looks like. It looks like Illy Gardner. Watch out for Illy. Dude, if Illy gets a top 5, man, it'd be huge for Gardner. She is such a strong climber. All right, now my question, though, over the top of that climb, who now has really reserved, right? Who has reserved? Did you have weird muscle aches from COVID? Yes, Anton. I had weird muscle aches like forever. I had a lot of weird muscle aches, actually. Reese is here.
I'm here.
Oh my gosh, I don't have to just hang out with chat anymore. Okay.
So,
I gotta change some things here real quick. Let's bring him in. We're gonna call you chat better behave for a little bit here. because you didn't behave to get in. Where were you? What was going on? What was the holdup, Reese?
well, I'm very surprised that there was some sort of scheduling conflict. The UCI not having a proper conversation with the organisers of the Rugby Six Nations. So it's the game's still going, Wales v England. So as a very proud Welshman, I had to watch. But
gotcha. Oh, so there was just some other sporting competition going on.
But the game's still going on. Wales are doing terribly badly, but I also have the race on, so I was watching both, and I was like, oh, I just felt bad for leaving you hanging. So
you're fine.
Here I am.
You're fine. We're having a lot of fun. Actually. What should we call you? We should call you Canyon something. We should call you Canyon.
No, well, not tonight. Tonight, Nathan. Right? I am obviously sports director for Cycling New Zealand. So
DS New Zealand. There we go. We got it. All right, DS for New Zealand with Reese House. So, what do you think so far on the race? I mean, this is already blown apart. Like,
absolutely.
20 seconds back, we've got 36 riders that have made the front at this point.
I mean, I thought that, it was going to obviously split up. That was inevitable, but I did not think it would be like so severe, to be honest. That's yeah, pretty crazy, to be honest. To already have so many riders out of contention. We'll see whether that gap comes down, right? Because that's one of the things, people were talking about before the race. Like, if the group's big enough behind, are they going to be able to bring it back? But I'm not so sure.
I mean, even if they do bring it back, though, once they've already been dropped once like this, it doesn't even matter, right? I mean, in my opinion, like that climb, it's not like getting dropped on a 20, 30 minute mountaintop, situation. Come back, get some more in the legs. Those guys just went or gals just went too hard the first time round. These 3 minute punchers like this, if you get dropped once on them, you got dropped because you couldn't hang on a 3 minute punch. You know what I mean? Like that, I think
Yeah.
that's just, they got a new thing, it looks like. That's cool. Did you see this on broadcast with Great Britain? They were able to make everyone invisible from all the other teams except for Great Britain just now. I've never seen that tool. That's a brand new tool.
Obviously you've seen it for single riders, right? But I don't
Yeah,
think I've seen
yeah,
it for
yeah.
multiple riders before. That's pretty cool. So then you can really easily see, how the numbers stack up. Just from me looking very quickly, it definitely looks like, is that Denmark? Denmark have a lot of riders. US, unsurprisingly, they started with a lot. GB, but I was also very surprised some of the names who were already dropped. So there's not many
Yeah, so
riders up.
who are we looking at? That Ella Harris, that's a surprise. She's on
Yeah,
the Zwift Academy.
she was just like that flatter section just before the final ramp. I think she was just slightly off the back. And yeah, I could just see there were some riders further back where I was watching who, when it got to that ramp, just lost the wheels. And by that point, if you lose the wheels there, you have no chance really of coming back, because it's so hard to pick up any more speed, and the riders at the front are already starting to get onto that descent. And I think I don't know how she was feeling, but of course, if you're in that situation, you've got to like basically sprint for your life to get back into the group. She missed out, sadly.
Looking wait, was Moomin Pasio dropped? That
No,
was
she's in the
Moomin.
front.
Okay,
No, she's
okay.
there.
Because Carissa was saying, Carissa, I see you over on Twitch, and she's saying that Moomin Pasio's group is back according to ZP. Was she dropped like just a little bit or something? Like for what? I'm looking
I
through
don't
here to
think
see.
so. No, I can see that she's in the front group there.
She is in the
So
front group now, but I wonder if she was actually dropped for a moment, which would be interesting. She has put out. Pasio is working way too hard. Way too hard. 4.8 watts per kilogram so far. I mean, I wonder if like that if I mean she has been riding Zwift a lot, but there still may be a little bit of that in real life, pro
true.
thing going on, like not a community rider necessarily. She's becoming a community rider. She's leading the way
Yep.
in esports. I 100% agree with all of that. They put out that great promotion around that and what she's been doing with Roca Corba. But let's look at her and some of her main competition. Courtney Nelson, 4.4 watts per kilogram right now. Where's Kolchinsky when it comes to, actually, I can actually bring this up on screen. We just look at some of the comparisons when it comes to the watts per kilogram so far. I mean, let's take a look at the averages. And at the top, Moomin Pasio is the highest average at this moment.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty. Ooh, is Jackie Gabi giving it a go? Jackie Gabi's giving it a go. She's got 1.2 seconds now at this point, and that is a strong rider. It looks like they're bringing her back here, though. I don't.
That's
think
a very
going
odd
anywhere.
place to do that. I always wonder when people do those little attacks, sort of in the middle of the race, are they just doing it for the TV time? Which you'd presume it must be, right? And sometimes I wonder, like, if they're doing that, are they then worried about the next climb? Are they doing it? And I'd be surprised if Jackie Godby is actually worried about the climb. But sometimes I think
Well,
people go out to
Gabi,
try and get a bit of coverage because they know they're going to be gone the next time.
but they did that. Okay, so I think Team USA have shown up to make the race as hard as it possibly can be to get things to break apart or at least put sting in the legs. So Kristen is set up for the best possible climb she possibly can. I have no inside information, and the only reason I say that is because on the first little bump on Harlem Hill, Godby went stupid hard. Like, and I'm like, what is she doing? Like, obviously, there's what I'm saying is there's obviously a plan here. If Godby is doing that, maybe it's just confidence. I mean, you might be right. I think it's part of the plan here to set Kolchinsky up for the best climb, or Courtney. Courtney, I think I shouldn't just name Kolchinsky, because Courtney Nelson is also a crazy strong climber and light. I mean, she's also what, like 5 kilograms lighter, or maybe like a little less than that.
She's super light, yeah.
I mean, and that might be a better punch actually on a climb like this with how sharp that climb is at the end of the race.
Yeah, it's interesting, but they've lost. I'm just looking at the chase group behind. It's now, what is it? It's like 40 seconds back. There's about 15 riders. There's 2 USA riders they've lost already in this group. Nearly the whole Australian team is here as well, so not a good day for them with regards to how many riders. Yeah, Ella Harris is in this group. Sarah Gigante.
Brie Vine made it though. At least Brie's there.
Yeah, she did. She actually kicked really hard up that last incline. So she did the smart thing. She kicked when she had to stay in that front group. Sadly, I can see 2 of our Canyon Beta riders in this chase group though. So
oh man.
But you know, it's
who's in the chase? Who are we talking? Well, Stephanie's made it though. Sidlick is there. From
Stephanie's there. Yeah, there's a couple of our beta riders from our second team who are in the chase group.
Okay, gotcha. And then Mary's obviously made it, so that's good.
Yeah, I can just see Haley Simmons. Feel really sorry for her. She is stuck in no man's land between these 2 groups. So if I was her, I would just sit up and wait for the group behind.
Oh man, 39 seconds back. I wonder what happened. I wonder if she got dropped afterwards.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't spot it.
I haven't. Something I haven't talked about or thought a lot about, actually, to be honest, is Shayna Paulus. But Shayna Paulus is a crazy sprinter. I wonder if she's been working on her climb at all. Because like she's one of those that if she has been working on, getting light and getting her climb to where it needs to be to make the final kick, that girl has got a crazy kick to the line though. Like, I mean, will it be somebody who can just hang on the climb and then boom, some sort of crazy power kick at the end? Or is it going to be a bottom to top? Chat, let me know. What do you think? Bottom to top or crazy, or crazy kick to the line? If you don't know what I mean by bottom to top is essentially like somebody goes from when they start the road, the transparent rainbow road situation, and boom, all the way. They just, or even when they start from the little KOM banner, or is it going to be kind of together and not run attrition? And they're going to kind of be like, it's going to be hard, but then there'll be this final kick over that last little punch. What do you think, chat? Reese, what do you think it'll be?
I mean, it's so difficult to say, right? Everybody's going to be coming with their own game plan. It's one of those climbs where if you are someone who is a sprinter, then you can kind of adapt your plan a little bit to it. You can kind of sprint up the climb, or you might, depending on the pace of the group, you might be able to kind of just sit in, hold a steady pace, and then you're looking to use your sprint on some of the flatter sections. It's just going to be, I mean, there's so many different options, right? Because it's not like a straightforward climb. It's not like last time.
There might be options, but like, I mean, how many options do you have though at 7 watts per kilogram? You know what I mean? Like, if somebody goes, I don't know, you might run out of options if there's nothing left. I actually have a nice little comment here that is related to you and you only, it seems, as well as this guy. But
Wells are about to win. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, whilst I've not been watching, which maybe is a blessing, they brought it within 4 points, but the time's over. The clock has gone red. So I'm not too confident about the win. If they win, it's going to be the win of the century. So, yeah, if you hear me scream or let out a little yelp, then they did it. But I think it's fairly unlikely at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's also what's going to be interesting. I saw a few riders just now who were dropping. They were using their aero power ups. Oh, they're just passing
That's
some riders who.
interesting.
So, but because they know, because the power ups are fixed, so they know that they're going to be picking up.
The feather. The
Where are
feather?
the,
You think they're
where,
going for the feather? Is that what you think?
yeah, if you get the feather on the lap banner.
Hmm. Michael
Um,
Painter, good to see you coming on in.
oh,
Definitely
he's
going to
from
be
the
bottom to
coalition.
top on those who may not be the strongest sprinters. And I think, Michael, I think Michael's making a really good point here, actually. He's actually over on the Twitch channel, and I'd have to agree with him that I think what's going to happen is we're going to get these riders who do not want it to be a kick to the line, and they are going to put all their chips on the table and try and drop whoever they possibly can from bottom to top. And I think, a few of these riders, we did see Kolchinsky and a few others kind of make a little bit of a push, but I don't think we've seen them put their chips on the table yet. I think the second time over the top, we're going to see the true sacrifice, the real matches being burned in the teams. It's not going to be the winning moves, but the riders who are there to make it as hard as they possibly can for the other teams, they're going to be the ones pressing the pace at the front, I have a feeling. And then, bottom to top, I think riders like Kolchinsky, Wilkinson, Keller, I would even put in there. Let's see who else. Cecilia Hansen, Gardner, Stephanie Sidlick, Luis Adegeist, Ashley Pasio. I think I don't know about Curry. We'll see. Curry's more of the kicker. So there's Curry, Godby, Morer. I would say Luis Huback. Like there's these names in here. Cecilia Hansen, even I would say, are these ones that are going to be looking to hang on to those riders' wheels. They're going to be watching those riders that are going to try and go bottom to top and sit in on their wheel as best they possibly can over the climb. And then boom, at the end. The rest of the Natalie Stevenson, these more climbing, pure climbers, they're going to just go to the front and just be like, I got to go to it's going to be like the finish line for them, Reese, they're going to be looking for it at the bottom of the climb. Whereas those sprinters are going to be looking for the finish line in that last 200.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what do you think is going to happen on this next climb? They could, for many of them, they'll think this is the selection already. Some of them will be considering, I want to lose some of these riders. There's probably some riders who are just hanging on. They were very lucky, I guess, to get over. They maybe haven't got 2 times up this climb. But are they just going to take it easy, because the kind of selections made maybe in their mind? They might take this one a little bit easier. Or do you think they're going to attack this? Because they don't have to. They don't have to make a big attack now for some of the riders. So
someone else is thinking exactly what you're thinking. Did you get the whiteboard? Did you get the white? I don't know if you got a top secret whiteboard, but Anna Russell is saying the exact same thing. I think that there's this question coming in about, do we, at this point the selection is made. Has it been whittled down enough, and are people happy with where things are at? I mean, I wouldn't still, but my racing is I want the best chances I possibly can get, and the best chances are going to be for in my opinion, whittling it down even more. And looking at the numbers that are here, Team USA have so many riders still here at this point that, I mean, so is Great Britain. Sweden's got riders to work with here. It's the teams.
All the arrows are getting dropped right now, by the way.
Wow.
So everybody's going for that feather power up. So it's going to be super interesting. If you haven't got the feather power up, if for some reason you've opted for something else, I think you're going to be in a lot of trouble, because clearly those feathers are all going to be dropped by the majority of riders on this climb.
Kolchinsky is pushing 8 watts per kilogram. What is she doing? Whoa, Kristen. Whoa.
There's definitely, I think, a lot of nerves out there at the moment. If they're looking around to try and see who else is in this group, there's a lot of big names from the Zwifting world. So there's definitely gonna be some nerves. Everybody looking at each other, even though they can't. just wondering how is the next climb going to come. This is actually, I think, probably almost the most important one in a sense, because I think everybody's going to be unsure what's going to happen. As
So if
everybody
you
knows,
make
for the last
like you
one,
gotta
it's going to
make
be
this.
carnage.
Yeah,
Huh?
exactly. Like making this is at least a tactical move, is what you're saying. Whereas like the last
Yeah,
one's just like this is the race win. So like this
exactly.
one is, yeah, I'd agree with you there. This is the most tactical when it comes to making this and how they're gonna play that. Catherine Curry going to the front. I just wonder if Team USA are gonna start playing any kind of tactics with the kind of numbers that they have here. They just have a lot of numbers. So
It's the really interesting element, obviously, of a world championships, right? These are all makeshift teams, the national teams. So you've got people who are they're normally racing against each other. They're now supposed to be racing together. I wonder how much of that togetherness actually exists. Is somebody really going to like sacrifice their own chances just so that someone from like the USA wins? I kind of think that's highly doubtful, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether
I'm
that
giving Zoe
actually plays
Langham
out.
some. I haven't talked about her a lot, but now that I'm thinking back to the community races, that girl's got a kick and she can climb. Like, she's got a serious kick. Actually, she won so many sprints. She's got a 12.5 watt per kilogram kick. And
Wow.
no, I'm not kidding. Like, she was like unstoppable in the points races and she made it over the climb. Zoe might be absolutely, like, honestly, I've been talking about Kocinski. I've been talking about Courtney. But if you compare their kicks, it's not here. I'm going to take a look at this 15 sec. Here, actually, let's bring this in. Let's just go ahead and bring this in. This is Zwift Power with the kicks. Okay, Van Houweling. Van Houweling is there. Caroline Bowie, 13.1. She has made it. And then Zoe Langham there. And Pia Kummer. Actually, Pia is insane too. Actually, I remember Pia being in there from Rose Beast mode. This might be a little bit different, actually, than a lot of the predictions so far with what we see there. Lois Adegis, Zoe Langham. I mean, those are the names when it comes to the 15-second kick, and that might actually be where this is won.
True. Zoe Langham actually has done incredibly well in the Premier League because obviously her team moved up the beginning of the season. I think she was in the top 5 highest women's scorers across the 6 weeks. So it's pretty impressive. Obviously, this season was very sprint heavy, which is why some of those teams who came up from the community, I think, were pretty well adapted. But of course, we did finish with some hillier races. So, she's definitely thus far, proven her worth in the Premier League. So, in that sense, I'm not surprised to see her here. But yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see how well she can hang on. That team's also sponsored by Wahoo, so I don't know which device she has. So, but if she's riding a kicker already, then she's going to be fairly well adapted to what she's riding now for the Worlds.
Yeah, true. Yeah, a lot of them got them a couple weeks back. I have seen a lot of the riders posting their tests on their new Wahoo. So the Worlds Wahoo, specifically just for Worlds. Good. This is a good comment that just came through. Really appreciated this one from. Is that going to be Duncan? Duncan's letting us know. And Ashley, if Ashley has to keep chasing people down, it'd be a good tactic for the other teams. And there is a reality that she is the only rider from her country, I think, in this league group, right? Like South Africa. That's it. So
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
they can really isolate her. But I mean, are all the other teams or even one team going to think that much about that? I mean, it's one rider, but it's the one maybe most dangerous rider. So perhaps you should think about attacking to force Ashley to chase things down. But the other teams are probably going to chase down anything anyways. So what are they all going to kind of get together and send off as many as they can, like except for Ashley? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. This is the thing, obviously, around Zwift racing is that it's very difficult to, for example, form like any sort of alliances in the middle of the race. I wish there was a way. I mean, you could like privately send messages if you are feeling so comfortable to be able to do that. But yeah, typically there's some people dropping their feather power-ups already.
Right now?
Yeah. So that's a
What?
really odd place.
That was Wilkinson too. What is
Really?
going on? I think Wilkinson dropped her feather there.
I think one of the German riders dropped hers.
Belfort, so two Swedish riders to the front, pressing the pace over Harlem Hill. Okay, interesting. Netherlands now to the front, it looks like, just now. All together. I don't think anybody got dropped there, did they? No, it all stayed together. So now they're just going to move their way through. They go all the way to the other end through the sprint banner and then up the climb. So next climb will be coming at us in about like 3 or 4K, I think. Right? Maybe 5.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the riders as well who do race in the Premier League will kind of know this course fairly well, or at least many of the roads, obviously, from the Premier League. So they'll have that muscle memory for some of these little sections and pitches. So they're nobody's going to get dropped there. I was just noticed that Maud Uderman is also in here. So the Zwift Academy winner. She hasn't had a great run in the Premier League. But it's really cool to see her make it in this group.
And she's made the front group.
She can.
Wow.
She's made the front group. Yeah, very impressive.
Well, so in the Premier League, when you say she hasn't had a good run, what kind of races though are we talking about there from Maud that she hasn't? We're looking at. Okay, I mean, I'm looking at her power profiles though, and I mean, I have a feeling Maud might be one of the riders who is just hanging on. In U23, I mean, it's definitely, I mean, you just jumped into some pretty deep waters here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of experience. There's a lot of experience in this crew.
She's only 18, so and she hasn't had a lot of Zwift racing, because when she joined my development team originally, she had a horrific crash and didn't get much racing in. Yeah, so she didn't get to do much racing with our team in the end. So the fact that she then went on, did the Zwift Academy, won it, then kind of got thrown into Premier League racing, and as well their team, the Canyon SRAM team, normally only had 3 riders every race, so they were always kind of outgunned. So to see her here with that lack of kind of experience, but obviously so much raw talent and power is super impressive, I think.
Well, definitely somebody for the future. I mean, she is a part of the future right now. This is I mean, this moment she has made world championships. She has a shot at top 10 still at this moment. So absolutely amazing to see. Hopefully a good peak here coming for her. Being a U23 rider, really, really cool to see.
Yep.
Looking through, quick question. What did you bring for the party snacks, Reese? I mean, that's really the most important thing on the day, is what you are eating for the party today.
Damn, I didn't bring any snacks,
anything?
to be honest.
You didn't bring anything? Oh man. Well, I mean, I got.
I did have a Ben and Jerry's.
Okay, there we go. You really outdid me. Holy cow!
It's gone. It's gone.
But I mean, the moment you said Ben and Jerry's, I bet chat was like, dude, Nathan brought a LaCroix and a Synergy and some goat cheese. And they're like, he brought Ben and Jerry's, like, proper cycling stuff going on here.
Oh, I should have brought. I've got some American. They're German, obviously, because I live in Berlin.
Look who's showing up. Loving this. I mean, Barney, aren't you supposed to be getting ready for something? Love to see him. James Joseph Barnes in the house. Looking for group. I call that looking for group. It might mean something else, but I say that's looking for group. We'll just leave it there. Snacks are the most important part of this. I appreciate it, man. Good luck today, James. Everybody in chat, I want to see good luck James Joseph Barnes today. He is definitely a man of the community. And okay, I mean, chat. Who, when it comes to community, I would assume we're on Zwift Community Live. Everyone's gonna be like, yeah, we want a community racer to win. We want somebody who's come up through the Zwift racing, to really take this down. And there is a little bit of part of me that when you hear me talk a lot about Kristen Kolchinski, or let's see who else is in. I mean, actually though, there is this mixture. Like when you just mod Udman, I mean, she might be in real life racer also as well, obviously, but there's these racers who have made their name, even though they're in real life racers, through Zwift. Bree Vine would be one of them that comes to mind for sure. Courtney Nelson as well, in real life racer. Catherine Curry now with almost like a re-up of making a name through Zwift racing. So there's kind of these mixed riders too. Mary Wilkinson.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you compare this World Championships compared to the first one, it's a completely different state of affairs. I mean, this is really the first e-racing World Championships, because the last one was not really. There was, I mean, from our team, we only had 3 riders. We had Ollie and Lionel on the men's side, and then Kristin in the women's side. And most teams maybe had 1 or 2 riders max. So I feel like I also don't mind who wins, because I feel like this is a proper test. If you win this, then you are you've proven your worth as an e-racer. The race and the course on the first time round, it was a little bit more like a group ride with a uphill sprint at the end. This is a seriously hard race. So if you win this, I think you've definitely earned it.
Mike Miller, just want to let you know, I put in chat just now the race commentary and live images from Zwift and the UCI's where they're pushing out. So you can go over to Zwift's main channel. This is just a watch party. So we are watching the race and commentating on what we think. We're just letting you know what we think about what's happening. So giving you a little bit more insight on our side of things about, being community members that have been a part of this for quite a long time. Reese, people might not know here that are hanging out. Like, I mean, you started one of the first esports teams, like that ever. I think you guys were the first professional esports team, if I'm not incorrect.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't ever claim we were the first like team per se, because there was a lot of clubs, and then they formed teams. But I think we were the first one where we were like, right, we're going to try and do it as professionally as possible. So when we started that in January 2019, I mean, I originally had an idea to start the team in at the beginning of 2017, but and that's when I first started chatting to Lionel. So actually, the idea for it happened 2 years pretty much before we actually ended up doing it. I felt like 2019 actually was the right time, and it also kind of coincided with the KISS Super League and the KISS Community League. We would have been we raced in the Community League and we won that with both the men's and the women's team. So it was a great start. We would have been in the Super League, but we were just a little bit too late. So most of our riders actually ended up doing both. They were like on a Monday and a Tuesday. And yeah, some of them were in like the Zwift All-Stars team, and there was several kind of put together teams.
Yeah, I remember.
So yeah, actually,
I remember. It's a lot of people like who are in the chat like have no. Like, wait, what's going on? All right, here we go. Kolchinski Molman. It's a redux of what we saw Climber's Gambit, it looks like. Both of them going to the front. Adegeist is there as well, it looks like. But Kolchinski has just countered. Molman went from bottom to top push here, it looks like. Only second time. Is it too much? Kolchinski, is she going to get over her head? I've seen her do it a couple of times. She's on the front. Now backing off 184 beats per minute now. Molman's there as well. Belfort from the Hansen following very closely. The Swedes are playing such a smart game. Because, look, I'm just going to say, so far from what I've seen from Sweden, they've been so smart with their watts per kilogram. Cecilia Hansen have only put out 3.7 watts per kilogram. Kolchinski at 4.1 so far, so almost a full watt per kilogram higher. Zoe Langham is still here as well. Kolchinski going backwards a little bit. Team USA maybe protecting her.
Shayna Paulus is the rider I'm watching. She is struggling at the back at the moment. So we were wondering about her. She is just losing the wheel. And this is where the pack's going to really stretch out. And if you're too far back, you're gone. So I think this is the moment for her. She's dropped to 3.8 watts per kilo. I think she's out of it.
Yeah, Shayna Palos looks like probably gone. USA rider. At this point, I think the pressure needs to totally get put on by anybody that they possibly can to whittle this down. Now, the thing is, if this does get whittled down to a small enough group, it gives opportunity for riders who want to just attack and break away, right? If you get this
There's
down
a little
to,
lull here, though.
well, I mean, like, so after this kick right here, if they break it apart anymore and they can kind of, so if you roll over the top with the pack and you get this up to 57 kilometers per hour real quickly and they crack some more riders, if 20 is too many, 20 is too many. And if they do come over the top with 20, this is not going to be a situation where you're going to get riders really trying to, well, they might try, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm just watching Maud Uderman. Oh, there's just this little chase group now. They can just see the riders just going underneath the banner. Their legs must be absolutely screaming at this point, and they're desperately trying to push on.
Oh yeah, it's like a group of 6 or so, but it's 7 seconds.
Yeah, but I think they know it's too late. The other riders are winging it down the descent now, and yeah, they're pretty much. That is done and dusted. So that puts the pack down to, is it about 24 riders, I think?
Why are they using their aero power-ups right now? What is
They must be
on?
worried. They must be worried.
I mean, I would never use an aero power-up right now if I was that close to the pack. Like, what? All right, so women all right, who's made it? Let's take a look here.
I see Kevin Curry's there, Brie Vine's there, Cecilia Hansen, Jackie Godby, Alice Lethbridge. So I think everybody we would expect to get over that climb pretty much has made it. Stephanie Sidlick, I'm glad to see, is still there.
All right, so who hasn't made it that we thought would make it? Curry. Catherine Curry. Cater Banerjee.
She's in there.
No, is Curry here? Did she make it?
Yes,
oh,
she is.
did. Oh, you're right. She did make it. Sorry.
Maud Uderman did not make it. She was painfully close. Painfully close to getting back on. That must have been so disheartening. I think Shayla Powers, I just saw her
incorrectly. That's why it was telling me that she didn't make it for some reason. I don't know why.
I can see Vicky Whitelaw. Oh, this is that chase group still. She was dropped earlier. I was very surprised that Sarah Gigante was dropped so soon.
She had COVID.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, less than like a month ago. So I mean, trying to recover from COVID, or at least she was sick. I don't know if it was said that she was actually COVID, so I shouldn't just assume, but I believe it was.
One of our riders, Kathy Mackner, got COVID 2 days ago, I think, which was very ill-timed.
Horrible.
I mean, it's not the type of course that would have suited her, but still, regardless, if you get a place in the World Championships, you're gonna turn up if you can, even if you know it's not the course for you. So yeah, real shame not to get that chance.
Carissa's letting us know ZP seems to get confused at this point in the course. Small gaps are exaggerated. Gotcha. Yeah, I've noticing that as well. The riders need more colored LEDs in their Zwift rooms. Simon, I mean, that would change everything. That would change everything. I mean, that's where you get AMP bossing it. Anna Russel is saying, well, solid ride there by her. I don't see it as like standing out though. So far, like I think there's been a lot of really interesting moves, and Kolchinsky went to the front. And here's one thing about Kristen is she definitely will go all in, and then it's like for those of you who play poker, the river card will come, and it's like she was betting on that river card, and sometimes it turns up aces, and sometimes it's like oof. I just didn't hit the flush, and so I'm wondering we'll see if like it didn't hit where it was supposed to, but she's got the gur to go.
Best.
So, what's interesting to me is that Australia has made this. I wasn't sure that they would be able to make this, but Katie Banerjee is still here. I bet you they're going nuts right now that they have made this front group. I think Brie Vine, did Brie make it or no?
She did, yep.
Yeah, Brie is still here, and she's been training so hard. Her and Jay have been in real life doing climbs like a maniac. So good to see, and we'll see what they can throw down here. I mean, this is really has not been whittled down to the point that. I mean, again, we've got our favorites, but I still have a feeling we might have some upsets here. This is really exciting because I don't think we're gonna get the you come in and you're like, oh, here's the story, and you kind of just end up with the story that you thought was going to be told. What's really interesting is here, I'm not sure we're going to get the story we thought was going to be told.
Well, one rider we've not really talked about is Celia Hansen, who unsurprisingly is in this front group. She's been very quiet this race, but she's a rider who's shown her worth time and time again in the Zwift Racing League Premier Division, as well as out on the road. And she's one of those riders who rides not a Wahoo, she rides another. I don't want to get thrown off the stream for mentioning another bike trainer brand, but she rides another device which is considered to be quite difficult to ride on, and I think that's super impressive that she can put out those performances.
Kolchinsky as well, actually, too. Prior to maybe 6 months ago, I think it was, or something along those lines. So that was always If you Kolchinsky's going 9 watts per kilogram, full gas. Actually, I mean, this is an attack. This is not sitting around. She's got 1 second.
By the way, was that wasn't a group coming back, was there? I thought I just saw a load of Australians. Maud Uderman just made it in, so that chase group came back.
They did, and Kristen wasn't happy about it, and just went off the front. Emma Belforth is chasing. Mullen Pastio's going too. This is for real, you guys. This is awesome. Langham's going. They're not screwing around. We've got a real race on our hands. This ain't waiting for the last moment. Kolchinsky's off the front. I think they sense. And now we've got 4 riders. We've got 4 riders off the front, and they're sitting. Illy Gardner's not even moving, and some of these ladies, I think, can't respond. Courtney Nelson is following wheels. Team USA have a plan, and they have sent their favorite rider off the front, and Pastio is with them.
That's super interesting. I did not expect to see a move happen so soon. It does look like they're going to be brought back, though, on this incline. But yeah, I think they were just not happy at all that those riders managed to get back in. I don't blame them, to be honest.
Well, that was a surprise. Difficult. They're making it super difficult. That's for sure. And that's what they need to do. And Momin's still there, obviously.
Yeah, so the group is back up to 32 riders again. I mean, obviously, we can't expect those riders who just got back on to, stay. They're not going to be with the main riders when they hit this climb again, for sure. But I mean, just genuinely an amazing effort just to get there, to be back in the conversation, back in the group for the final, basically.
Andy Biker, I'll give you a link here, real quick, buddy. I do see your chat. You can head on over to Zwift's YouTube channel. Andy, there you go. We're just here for the watch party. How many kilometers from the finish are you? I don't know. I don't have like a countdown, but I'm at 38.2 for me. For my watching. Catherine Curry just went off the front. Team USA, I love it. They are burning every match. And Curry now is gone. Catherine Curry is the type of FTP rider who could get the gap that would win the race too. That's the thing, is because she is not a rider who's going to probably make that final climb punch hard enough, but she is definitely a rider who can hang on to a gap that she has formed all the way over the top. They give her too much room. Yeah, she could be gone.
Nobody is chasing. I mean, of course, there's a couple of American riders. I mean, they've got the numbers as well, so they're not going to do anything.
Yep,
so
exactly.
They're just gonna sit there. So yeah, we will.
Chips. I'm busting out the chips and cheese for Curry. Let's go, Catherine Curry.
Well, making the race interesting. I really was expecting that everybody would just want to sit in and wait for that final climb, but the gap's not extended. So maybe that just be because we're on this little bit of a descent. I think she's going to be brought back fairly quickly, but it's just to see a couple of riders making that sort of effort will kind of put the cat amongst the pigeons. I think people will be thinking to themselves, okay, maybe not everyone's going to be sitting in. Maybe somebody is going to try and go early. So yeah, everybody's spider senses are going to be tingling right now.
This is all in. She's still pushing 6-7 watts per kilogram over this little climb. I mean, I agree with you. I don't think it's going to stick, especially over the top here. Well, Barrow now just backed off to 4.2. Interesting.
Very, very, very cagey, I think.
4 seconds. She needs to get up to 57
yeah, it's going back
really
out again.
Fast. But on this downhill, that pack is going to go so fast.
Exactly. There's going to be this yo-yoing, and that's going to be really demoralizing for her, to be honest, to pull the gap out again. Then it's going to come down again, and then she's going to have to push harder to open it up. Yeah, I mean, she might even get caught on this section. We'll have to see.
DCL sponsored by Aldi's, Alan Lowe. Dude, Aldi's is life. Like, I don't know how I'd even have groceries if it didn't exist, if Aldi didn't exist. What chips, Nathan? Simply Nature's blue corn tortilla chips with a big, huge,
what's blue corn?
Bold, big, bold, gluten-free. Blue corn? You've never seen blue corn chips, dude? What?
No, I've never heard of blue corn.
Hold on a second. I'll show you. Hold on. This is blue corn. This is what blue corn looks like. Chat, do you know what blue corn is? I mean, come on, Reese.
Damn, you zoomed in so much. I wasn't prepared for that. Wow. Well, I've never seen blue corn before, but I'm pleased you've introduced it to me. Whoa, what is that?
Hurry just got
It looks
caught.
like you're eating. It looks like you're eating dinosaur scales.
The gigantic blue corn chip. I mean,
what?
Come on.
I don't know, man. You're blowing my mind right now.
Blue corn makes me think of Pocahontas. Yeah, come on. I mean, haven't you ever seen? Oh, Curry now was off the front, now using an arrow just to get back in contention. Oh man, the spot where they did that though, it just wasn't a good spot to do it. Maybe, I don't know. They're doing it again though. Now they're sending
who is
Godby. Godby's off the front.
No.
Now. Yeah.
No.
They're sending Godby off the front now.
Oh,
1 second.
wow.
1 second for Godby.
There is Klein is pushing a little bit, but it's not a serious effort to close the gap.
Hey, Cassandra Rush is in the chat. Cassandra, good to see you. Crush it. Good to see you. Really strong community rider.
I'm also while we're doing this, I'm also keeping an eye on the WhatsApp and for the New Zealand team and finding out who's done what wrong and having to share the messages back and forth. Like weigh-in videos which have been set to private and unlisted, and I'm kind of like trying to message the guys and be like, "Come on, change your settings." So,
Well,
but it looks like we're all good. No, everything's good. I am proving that I can multitask, I think.
Who is the USA? I don't know actually. Off the top of my head, I never.
Whoa! And again with the US, is that Stephanie?
They're setting up. Yeah, Stephanie's going now.
Stephanie's the one. She dropped her arrow there. She's doing 7 watts per kilo off the front.
Yeah, and actually they're saving the best for last. They're saving the best for last because okay, so this has actually gone in order of strength, it feels like. From what I know of these riders, Curry and I'm not trying to be mean, but Curry I think would be the weakest when it comes to the final climb. Then Godby, then Sidlick, then who's going to go after this is going to be the question. No, I think this is she's got 9 seconds.
Whoa.
9 seconds. 3 watts per kilogram. Belfort to the front here. Are we going to see any kind of cohesion between some of these teams? I think some of these European teams, Sweden, Passio's there, Netherlands is there. Is Canada going to go, yeah, it's cool. No, we like you still.
Godby's loaded up. Right behind. She's in third wheel at the moment. You feel like she might, at some point, maybe she's going to slingshot off the front, maybe bridge over. We've not seen anything. We've not seen anything like that happened before. But Stephanie Sigler still got 9 seconds. Klein's she's back on the front. She is pushing. There's a little bit of a gap opening up. I mean, it would be amazing to see a couple of riders bridge over, maybe get a little group going.
Why are these riders working for Pasio essentially? Like what? That looks like what's happening. Oh, Klein's trying to go across.
Yes.
She's got 1 second gap here at this point. That would be great. Actually, it's not going to happen though. Sedlick now 7 watts per kilogram, still off the front. Oh.
Yeah, the climb really is probably not. It's not the perfect climb for Steph. She would have loved a slightly longer climb. This one out of all of our riders, I think it suits Mary Wilkinson the best. Again, another rider who's done a pretty good job of keeping herself well hidden, and we've not really talked about. Yeah, this is the sort of climb that would suit her really well. So there's a lot of ride-ons coming.
I'm looking at the watts per kilogram. Moomin Pasio is still at 4.5 watts per kilogram, the highest average so far out of all the race. Still.
Wow.
Yep. Illy Gardner.
But I think if there's one rider who could probably sustain that and still win, it's probably her. I mean, she's shown that she can just completely punish herself. So, but we'll see. We'll see on that final climb. Has she overdone it? Has it a little bit of inexperience, which means she's pushed more watts than she needed to and suffers at the end? I mean, this is so exciting, to be honest, to see how it's going to go down. There's so many riders who could play it a different way, who could win it. It's by no means like a done deal, and they're currently all sat in. And Stephanie Sillick is still up the road. So
4 seconds. It's coming back. Looks like it's coming back. Final climb's coming up, guys. This is it. World Championship on the line. They're gonna go through this little sprint section. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They got a whole.
Not yet.
My bad.
They've still got 11 kilometers left, right?
My bad. Yeah, they still got a ways to go.
Yeah.
I was like, because I thought they were coming up to that little sprint. I was like, oh, is this really coming up right now? No, not.
Yeah. So yeah, the main group's not really doing much. I do wonder if Godby might end up going again. For sure, the US is the only team who at the moment really are looking to do anything. It'll be interesting I wonder what they're saying on their chat, because they've obviously tried some tactics where they've had riders 1, 2, 3 off the front to, I guess, try and force a reaction, but the pack has just done nothing. They've just sat there and let their kind of group speed do the work. So I wonder if they're going to change their tactic or not.
What I like about Siddiq here is that she's not giving up, because 4 seconds can turn into
still going
really quick. No, especially over this next section of course, or a couple might come across. Look, Zarheed's going 8.5 right here. They could come across. Remember here in New York, if you don't know, everybody, at this section of course, it is a long, steady uphill grind for a while, like false flat situation, and she might get caught here, but it could open
Stephanie's
up a situation.
Caught, yeah. So Adagis is the one really pushing on there. I mean, everybody dropped their aero, so that makes sense. Oh, there's a bit of a lull here. Who's that? Is that Godby off the front?
I would
Curry. It's Curry.
Is it Curry again? It is.
Yeah.
I love it. Team USA, let's go. Let's go. You guys are awesome. This is some of the best racing ever. Talk about TV time, making the race and moving. Eventually, no one's going to be able to chase anymore.
She's already got 5 seconds. Amazing. We wondered who was going to be, if the USA were going to throw another person up the road. That was the perfect time to do it, because everybody came over together, and then there was an instant lull. You could see it. And then
I think they have to at this point. They have to be fully committed to what they have planned here at this point. Don't you think? Like, I mean, it's just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, she's at 8 seconds. So, and the pack behind, not a single reaction from any rider at the moment. They're just going to let Team USA keep doing this and hope it doesn't work.
this drag right here is the best drag to get the most time, because the downhills and uphills are not intense enough for the pack to bring back a lot. But she has to get a solid 20 seconds or more before Harlem Hill, because that Harlem Hill downhill is insane. So
yeah,
like it's just so
she's
fast.
got 11
she needs
seconds,
to get a
12
lot
seconds
of time here.
She could get that 20 seconds you're talking about, because she's already at 12. So this is super interesting.
Time to be a genuine threat is what Anna's thinking. Anna just came into chat. What do you think about that?
I mean, to go 2 up. Yeah, the only problem with going 2 up, of course, is that somebody's more likely to react. I mean, maybe they are just hoping at this point that because no one's reacting, she can actually get away. She has the best chance out of all the attacks that they've done to be the one to get away. Of course, it would be amazing to have another rider with them, but yeah, I don't see it happening. But we'll see. Maybe somebody tries to bridge over, but that's a lot of effort, and the worst that could happen is you end up just pulling a load of other riders along with you if you try and bridge over. So you have to do it really. You have to be really snappy and do it more or less at the same time. I think it's too late now. But is there going to be another chance to do this tactic?
16 seconds.
What?
16 seconds.
Yeah, and that is going to go out a bit because she is going to be hitting that descent, which comes up around the back of the course before this group. So it'll come back down a little bit, but she'll still have a sizable gap, I think. So whatever happens, I have to tip my hat to Team USA for bringing a game plan and executing it.
Race, you're in the pack. It's World Championships. What are you thinking at this point? What are all the DSs doing? I mean, you're going to DS the men's race in a moment. What would you be saying here at this point?
I guess it's tough, right? And it also depends which riders you've got. You know,
like what you have to work with, kind of a thing. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would probably at this point still be saying the best thing to do is to just sit in the pack and reserve energy. And you know, if the rider gets away with such an incredible attack, then they sort of deserve the win. I would just be saying, let's just sit here and wait, because by the time that rider gets to that climb, they're going to be spent. So, you know, sometimes if you get a 20-second gap, by the time they hit a climb, that comes down super
really
quick.
Fast. True. Very true.
So
very
I would
true.
you just have to say, like, let's just stay calm, and we just have to wait and stick to our plan as well. So she's got 17 seconds.
The more
still.
I do anxious eating, the more intense this race gets, the more food that goes in my mouth.
Wow. Well, around me is just a desert.
You don't have more Ben and Jerry's. Where's the more Ben and Jerry's? What the heck, man? You didn't show up prepared for Worlds. You got to show up with the right fuel.
I messed up, man. I mean, I've got some. There are called American-sized marshmallows. I might get some of those. They're about like
American.
They're like this big.
Is it like branded? Like, is that an actual brand? Like American-sized?
That's just the size. They're like American-sized. So they're like, I don't know. I think you could suffocate on one if you tried to eat it in one go. Like this. If you had something like if you had a leak, you could absolutely ram that thing in there and that would stop the leak. It's colossal. I can eat maybe 2 before I feel physically sick.
So the pack here at this
but they
point,
are nice.
They're going to be thinking about on Harlem Hill. They're hitting Harlem Hill now. 10% grade.
She's
got a feather power up. She used it. She used her feather power up actually on Harlem Hill to hold on to her gap.
Somebody else from GB is Zoe Langham actually using her feather power up, I think.
What?
Or is it Mary? I can't see.
No way.
Oh, no, I think... Oh, I can't see which rider it is exactly.
I can't believe anyone's using their feathers right now. Why are these people using their feathers?
Mary also used her feather power-up. So they've only got one last power-up to get. That's going to be the draft power-up. It'll be interesting. We talked about the different power ups. The draft one, probably, I think, in the priority for this race is probably the third one. But so it can only be useful really on that flatter section, I think. But if everybody's dropping feathers around you up that climb, I mean, that's going to be super tough to hang with them. So very interesting. I was very surprised to see 3, or was it 2 or 3 GB riders actually dropping feathers at that point. That seems strange.
Yeah, Chris is saying maybe they're hurting more than we think. She could be right about that. It could be right about that. All right, we're getting right down to it here. This is it. I mean, this section of road and then up that climb that you see. Well, you guys can't see what I see, but over the top of Curry's head right now, she just went underneath the glass road. That's going to be the final kicks happening. It's within. They brought it back within 3 seconds now. Wow, that gap came down so quickly.
I mean, she must have been dying. That was a big attack. Like she was off the front for quite a long time.
Great Britain is the ones that are bringing it back. Alice Lethbridge just went to the front at like 4 watts per kilogram for like 2 minutes there for a second. Do you think they'll do it again?
GB have got a lot of riders, so
I don't think USA is doing it again. Do you think? I don't think they're going.
I'd be very surprised. They're going to lap some riders here by the looks of things.
Oh yeah,
I'm surprised I guess they're still allowed to be in the race, but I wouldn't be surprised if Zwift HQ actually pulled them out. But I suppose as long as they don't
can't impact the race, probably. I would think, right?
Yeah.
Wait.
All right. Luckily, I have 2 Zwift accounts, so I can load up the men's race.
Riders may be trying to conserve as much energy as possible using those. But Michael, like you need that power up. Russell Crowder says because they're suffering. Yeah, that is probably why. That is probably exactly why. Did Curry get caught?
Yes, no, I think she just got caught there.
It's back up to 7 seconds.
Oh, it's because of those lap riders. I'm very confused. Like, I bet Zwift HQ are like probably tearing their hair out saying, don't, all of those lap riders she's now catching, so they're probably messaging her saying, don't do anything, stop riding.
I don't know if you can see them on the broadcast. You actually don't see them on the broadcast.
Okay. Well, she's just gone past a Belgian and I think a Portuguese rider. She's still got 7 seconds. So gap going back out again. I mean, whatever happens, she's undoubtedly going to get caught, but this is super impressive to still be out there. She's been out there a long time, got 7 seconds, and there's only 4 kilometers left of this race. So
10,000 people watching on Zwift's main channel. We predicted that pretty well. Oh no, I can see them. She is going past the lap riders. I can see them. Yep. I can see them on the broadcast. So they're both in the build that we have as well as in the broadcast. Still see the pack. The pack's got her within sight. The pack's got her within sight. It looks like Curry is getting a little bit of a boost in her confidence though as she pushes the 5 watts per kilogram here.
I mean, you would do. I mean, the adrenaline's going to be pumping. You've realized that the pack has done nothing to chase you down. So obviously her lungs and legs are going to be absolutely burning right about now, but she's going to try and milk this for as long as possible. It's kind of a shame though that there was just sort of no reaction. The group is going to essentially catch her just because they're a group, so but it'll be interesting to see if people have had to suffer just to even kind of keep up this speed. There's still going to be riders who maybe are pushing out more watts than they normally would like to do, just to make sure that the gap is kind of closed down. But yeah, Nathan, I'm really interested as we are only 3 kilometers away from the finish. Are you going to make any predictions for who you think's going to win? This is a tough one.
Zoe Langham.
Whoa, okay.
I don't know. We'll see, but it depends on if she can hang. I know that is a what, but I don't know. Did Zoe use that feather? If Zoe used the feather, Was it her? If it wasn't her and she wasn't, that's the only thing that I'm like, oh, maybe that's not gonna happen. But also the Rose Beast mode, is Pia still here? Or did she not make it? Did Coomer
I
make
haven't
this?
seen her, but there are some German riders in here.
Oh, I thought Coomer was still here, but it looks like she got dropped in the last one as well.
All right, well, that's their last time under the banner. Last time to pick up a power up. So, yeah, those riders who did drop their feather, they're going to be using that draft. It's going to be really interesting to
Yeah,
see
you can
where
come
they
in,
actually
buddy.
plan to
You
use
can
that
come in.
draft.
What's going on? What's that? Who? Tell them I'm working. Do they need something? Ask them what they want. And tell them I'm working. Some random people showed up at the door. Micah, shut the door, buddy. Little guys. All right. Well, we're getting into the world championship, into the final climb. Final climb, everybody. Yeah, it's
Here
watch
we
party.
go.
It's watch party today, guys. It's not full on broadcast production. Kids are fully allowed to come on into the broadcast today. Moving past the bottom to top. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen?
Everybody's going to be looking at her, to be honest. I would just be sat in her wheel if I if I was able to. Then I would just basically just try and watch what she's doing. If I can hang with her, I would do. And that's nobody is really trying anything. But there are so many American riders here. Surely one of them is going to go early if they've got the energy, trying to force it.
Yeah, somebody should try and force it, I would think, from the American team here. We'll see, though. Maybe they're just going to play it really, really smart. Vines toward the front.
Colclough's already dropped her draft, so I think she's got to be suffering.
10 watts per kilogram. Movement Passio's going now. Langham's looking to follow here, it looks like. What's up, bud?
Godby as well is putting... Oh, but yeah, she is off the front.
Oh, I know who's here. Okay. Tell them, I'll be right back. Tell them to come on in. Tell them to come in. We have actually community members here. From Obscure Finesse.
I mean, Movement Passio's she's got a 1 second gap at the moment.
Yeah.
Hansen's the one. Hansen is the one. She's going to get on her wheel. Godby as well. Adegeest. These are the 4 riders who are trying. Mary Wilkinson's currently 5th. Mary Wilkinson is now dropping her draft power up, so we know that she was stuck with a draft. Interesting choice to use this now, but Movement Passio has got a 2 bike lengths off the front.
Too early though. I think she's going to get
could be
for it, and it's not going to be okay. I think that she went way too early. Way too early. You guys want to be on broadcast? You guys can come in. Jillian's here. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is like World Championship party.
It is a party.
Front right now.
But Hansen's stuck on her wheel.
Showed up at my house, you guys. Like, out of nowhere.
Listen, there's 3 riders here who are off the front. Mary Wilkinson, Godby. So we have Movement Passio's dropped her feather power up right now. It's a really strange place to drop it. Hansen is there. Zoe Langham dropping her feather. Oh, she's hopping onto the 4th wheel right now. So
sorry about that, you guys.
This is it. It's these 4 riders. These 4 riders. It's going to be one of them. So Zoe Langham is there. Your pick. Hansen was my pick.
She's going to win it. Langham's going to win it in the sprint here.
I think she's got the biggest kick out of all of these riders. Yeah, she does.
Well, Hansen's got a good kick too. Hansen's got a good kick, but I think Zoe Langham is just going to be too much over the top here. Great Britain's going to win the championship, I think.
This is going to be ridiculous. Look how cagey it is right now. Adegeest, though, purposely maybe hanging back, thinking that she's going to try and sneak it on the line. Nobody started sprinting.
Kicking. 9 watts per kilogram for Adegeest.
Adegeest is going.
She's going. She's got the further power up. Zoe doesn't have one. Passio's out. She is completely out. Zoe Langham 10-5.
But Zoe Langham's kicking.
Zoe's got to go. Louise Adegeest is going to win. The Netherlands are going to take it. Hansen tries to go, and no, it's going to be He's second for Great Britain. Luis Adagi's just won the world championship. Oh my gosh. Dang, I'm second. Hansen third. Passio fourth off the podium. Holy cow.
Wow. Mary Wilkinson is just coming over the line. I think is that roundabout fifth? Great outing by her.
That was insane.
Nathan,
you got to go right away.
I've got to go. 6 minutes till the men's race.
Yep, you got to go. You got to go. And I got to go
Thanks
say hello
so much
to my
for
friends.
that. That was super fun.
That was fun. Yeah, go hang out in the men's race. Go hang out. We'll talk to you soon. Guys, we're going to go
catch you later, Nathan.
Quick break because I actually had some friends show up. So I'm going to chat with them real quickly. And then we've got about 5 minutes to the start of the men's race, I think, right? So I'm going to jump in there. We'll go to a break. I'll put some music on quick, and then we'll be back. Anna will be in here in just a second. So my son's playing trombone for the Absway Finesse crew. So Jillian from Absway Finesse and Ryan McGee just came on in, which is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious that all of a sudden they're up in the house. Man, I thought Zoe had it, you guys. Oh, they gave it actually. No, Cecilia took second, Zoe third. So Cecilia, again, she betters last year's third place. From what I'm seeing right here on Zwift Power, Zoe is actually third. Ends up with the bronze out here today. Oh my gosh. Because Andrew Coates, I really appreciate the question. We don't have, just like we're doing a watch party. Like if you ever seen with like NFL, NBA, Olympics, when there's like really high stake media rights, you can't just show whatever you want. So no, I'll just give you the link, buddy. I'll just give you the link here. It's right here. There you go, bud. We'll give you the link. I'm going to bring in Anna here in just a minute, and we'll have a conversation with her. And make sure we throw a mute on that. I'll be right back. Have a quick little chat with our friends downstairs. No worries, Andrew. No worries, bud. No worries. Just making sure that I'm getting into the yeah, okay, I'm in. So once this starts, I'll be able to jump across to the race. All right, guys, I'll be gone for about 5 minutes or so. We'll get into the beginning of the race. Anna will be in here in just a couple of minutes as well. We'll throw some music on quick, and don't go anywhere. Watch party for the men's race coming right on up. Luis Adagi's just won a world championship. She is your new esports world champion. So go head over to Zwift's broadcast for a little bit, guys. They'll probably do some sort of a ceremony or something. We'll see. And be right back. Okay, sorry everybody. We are back. I think Anna's gonna be up in here. Holy cow. It's been a wild day. We just saw World Championship 1 by Louise Adegeest. Seeing a lot of chatter coming on in here. Cheese Nathan, aka Ginger Citizen, good to see you. Michael Flanagan, let's go. John Brune. USA were great to watch, but they might have cooked KK before last time. I have to agree with you on that. John, Duncan McRae, yeah, she definitely did, which is too bad to see. The men have kicked off, it looks like. We'll see what's happening from the get-go, who gets dropped right off the bat when it comes to the men's race. Ryan McGee and Jilly Bean say hi to everybody. If you don't know who they are from Absquay Finesse, long time friends of mine. And Ryan lives like an hour down the road. They just came by to visit. They were going to be in town, so they were like, Nathan, we'll come by on Saturday. And they actually forgot that the race was today. So awesome. Thanks for doing this. Why is Honda wearing arm warmers? What? Oh, you mean on the broadcast? So I'm not actually watching that. Are they actually wearing arm warmers on the... Great conversation. What a race. Really looking forward to the men's. This is going to be awesome, Keith. This is going to be great. He is wearing arm warmers, the Japanese rider. Is he attacking right from the get-go? Just saying, forget it. I'm getting some TV time right from the get-go. Holy cow. All right, where is Anna? That's what I'm wondering. I'm going to see if she's coming in. We're getting a lot of questions coming on in here over Discord, actually. Let's see if my co-host is going to jump on in. Otherwise, you might just have... Maybe we're going to go back to Chat Behave. We go back to Chat Behave for a little while. And you guys can take Reese's spot. Hey, shut the door. Hey, buddy. Thanks for coming on in. I appreciate you so much. Kyle, man, coming on in. That's actually, do you guys remember way back, like way back when we were live on Zwift's main page? He did the same thing, but he was this big at that point. He was like, and not this big. So obviously today's Saturday, and it is a usually day off for us. So I do got the kiddos here today. You're getting a little bit of the reality of Nathan life when it comes to the weekends. All right, let's take a look at what's happening here with the race, though. Is Japan still off the front, or have they been brought back? 4.7 watts per kilogram, 4.5. A go like this far out, this is going to get caught, though, on the climb. Actually, on the downhill here. So maybe Japan just getting a little bit of TV time. How many riders do they have in the race? 1, 2, 2. Got 2. All right, guys, let's hear your predictions. Whoa, is she here? She's made it.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Sorry, just had to go get some food and stuff. That was a long race.
Do you have your snacks? What did you bring?
I've got like a bag of almonds and a muesli bar. Almonds, muesli bar, and a coffee.
Nice. I got my coffee too.
And
my kombucha.
My children's like baby food.
Like one of those little like
squeezy things.
Squeezy things.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What's really funny is right in the middle of the broadcast, Micah just came in. It was like, there's 2 people here. And I was like, who are these people? I thought I had like Jehovah's Witnesses or something at my door. Like I thought like somebody was trying to come in, convert me or something.
Funny.
And I was like, what is going on? And then I remembered, I was like, oh yeah, Jillian told me that she was going to be swinging by. Okay, cool. And they came in. What a cool little thing. Like people from the community are everywhere right now. All of a sudden they're at my door. They're literally at my door.
That would be so cool. Oh man, wow, that was intense. How did you like that?
That was not expected. That was not what I
No.
was expecting. But then once we got into the race, I was like, yeah, I thought Zoe was going to have it. I really did. Cecilia's just always been there, right? So Cecilia was always in my mind like a podium contender, right?
Yeah.
But as far as the win goes, Luis, what? Like, what? Like,
Yeah.
where did that come from?
I know. It was I was actually busy straight after Googling who Lois Edgeest, I think, rides for AO. The one who won the race. I mean, unreal.
It's because I have the hat on.
That's because you got the hat on.
It's because I have the
But
hat
yeah,
on.
insane. So she's I don't know if you've seen. Yeah, so I've gone to her pro stats. And she races in a lot of pro races. She's racing for IBCT at the moment, but was on Park Hotel Valkenburg. I mean, some fairly good results. But then I went into her Zwift profile, and she is a winner on Zwift Premier Division. Stage 1, she was second. Stage 2, she was first. And then basically did a couple other races, but was kind of like 14th, 50th, obviously getting ready for this one. But she's more, if you look at her stats, she's more of a sprinter. So interesting.
Yeah, and I've seen her in the community for a while. I have commentated on her quite a few times. But the thing about her is she's a middle of the she's kind of got all of the she checks a lot of the boxes, but she doesn't check them in a way that's like completely the best at like a long climb, right? She's not completely the best at a hard sprint, right? 12.5 watts per kilogram versus like 13, I think, from some of the other riders or so. You know, when it comes to her personal bests, let me see here as far as the big sprints from her for 15. Again, 12.8. So we're not like in the Langham range maybe, but I mean Langham's only about half a watt per kilogram more. She weighs quite a bit more than some of the other riders.
I know. I can't, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. I looked at her stats and was like, oh, this is awesome. Because sometimes you look at the women's racing and you look who's winning, and you're like, well, I'm never going to be that light. Is it even possible for me to get up there? And I looked at her, I was like, that's the same as me. Like, that's awesome. Like, it does show, like, she just obviously had that power at the end. It was insane. Big surprise to me, Kristen Kulczynski.
Where did Kulczynski end up on the day?
I think she was about 15th, maybe.
21st.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah,
faded toward the end.
Someone had a point on your
fifth.
I know. I mean, but she's been racing so well. And also mum of two, so shout out to her. I did see a comment on the our watch party chat while I was in the pens DSing of did Team USA burn Kristen Kulczynski a little much? I couldn't answer that because I saw some of the tactics with them going one rider off the front, Stephanie Sidler, Catherine Curie, but I don't think that would have burned Kristen Kulczynski's legs because she just would have sat in the pack. So I wasn't sure, but did Kristen do any attacks herself?
She did attack quite a few times, yeah. She went off
really?
like 8 watts per kilogram quite a few times.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So I think that might have been part of the situation there.
Right.
Well, also, I'm also wondering if Kristen was hoping to get into a break or cause some sort, because I do know that, you know, she did have an injury recently.
Okay.
You know, I'm wondering if there was more confidence in her getting into a break rather than the final climb, and they just knew it, you know? And I do know that her coach is very, very practical, I would say.
Yeah.
He's a numbers guy.
He's actually been giving me tips, so.
All right.
Yeah,
so, I think being practical, I think he was they were saying this is how you'll win this race if you're going to win this race. I have a feeling that might have something to do with it too.
Yeah. Just looking at the men's race now, they're starting their, God, they look like they're moving fast. They look like they're going real. There's a huge attack off the front.
Who is that?
Brian Hodge looks like 11.83 watts a kg. That's insane. Just hitting this climb for the first time. I've got to say the tips that I gave my team were he is sprinting. You've got to treat this first climb like the finish line, because if you don't make that cut, immediately off that downhill, you're gone. You're like
over.
a minute,
Yeah.
you know. So when we had Ella Harris, she was 5 seconds off the back on the first climb, and then by the bottom of the climb, that was 20 seconds, then 30, then a minute. So yeah, it's this first climb is brutal.
Jeremy Hopwood saying, need a matches indicator for every time someone goes over 8 watts per kilo for more than 10. That's not a bad idea, actually. Carissa is saying the pack was smart by not responding much to Team USA. I was surprised as well, actually, that there wasn't more response to Team USA. What did you think about that?
In the women's race?
Yeah, you're a DS.
Yeah,
you're there. So what are you telling your team?
Okay. So if I wasn't Team USA and I'm watching Catherine Curie go up the road or Stephanie Sidlick, I wouldn't care if I'm Ashley Moolman-Passy or anyone else. Like, they could get 20 seconds and I know that my climb, that everyone will know their competitors, right? So they would know I can beat them up the climb. That's no problem. And we're in a big bunch here. So I felt it was a little bit similar to what you saw with the Dutch women's team at the World Championships, I believe it was, where you had like Annemiek van Vleuten going off the front and no one kind of chasing, and then she just kind of got brought back. You know, I think that's why I said in the comments watching, you almost have to send 2 or 3 up the road to make people freak out and go, oh, you know, like
you got to make them freak out. Yeah, make them
you
flip
have
out.
to. Yeah, you've got to make them get worried. You know, I remember seeing a race last year and the whole Belgium men's team went on to the front and started getting a gap. That worries the peloton. One rider going off, you know, it's not such a big deal. So maybe if they'd sent 2 or 3, but then you're burning a lot of legs. So I think they just did what they could do, right?
So men's race differences. I have a feeling there's going to be a much larger pack at the end altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a feeling that this is not going to separate nearly as much over the top climb. Like, a lot of the pack is going to make it here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
all those drafts being dropped. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you in the race? Are you in? Like, are you actually?
No, I'm not on the race.
No.
I was in the women's race.
Here, I'll just copy how to.
Get me in there.
Yeah, you can get in. You can get in. Give me a second. I'll just.
Should I create myself a little meetup in New York? Is that the deal?
This is what I sent. No, there. There you go. It's over.
You send that to Discord?
Yeah,
Sweet.
I sent it to Discord. Yeah. It'll be in. There'll be an ability for you. So Worm here now. It looks like Sweden still there. There's got 50 riders over the top. Very different situation. Almost 60 riders over the top. Osborne's made it. So he's not going anywhere. Jay Vine, Ovid. Let's talk about favorites. Like, who do you think in the men's race?
I've always got a little soft spot for Lionel Vuassen. I'm not. It could be a course that suits him. I just like him because he's such an OG esport racer. I always just kind of like seeing him do well. I mean, again, kind of have another soft spot for the Kiwis. I am really interested to see how Jay Vine's going to go, because he has been doing so well for Alpecin Fenix in the real world, right? Like,
he hasn't been on Zwift like at all, and like so long. But he's a really good Zwifter. He knows what he's doing, right?
Yeah. But he has just come off a tour already, so he's probably pretty smoked. And it is interesting, you know, like I was DSing Ella Harris. She rides for Canyon SRAM. She's over in Europe. I mean, she said my Zwift racing is a bit rusty. It's so different, right? And so I think that could go against him a little. But it's always interesting to see how those in real life riders go against, you know, the Zwifters, we'll say. Ben Hill, you know, I think it was really disappointing for him that he didn't make it as the selected rider in the academy. So it is always, he could have a little chip on his shoulder. He could be wanting to go well. There's so many. Who's that the US rider?
Brian Duffy Jr.?
Yeah, him. I was actually thinking of, there's Brian Duffy Jr., who is obviously really good. It'll come to me in a sec. I'm looking through the start list now. Double-barreled name. Bouchard Hall. Kevin Bouchard Hall.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Kind of like him as well. I mean, Sam Lindsay from New Zealand. Ollie Jones from New Zealand as well. So many. What about you?
I'm not sure Ollie can make the climb at the end though with these boys. Man, this is
James
tough.
Barnes, Jimmy Barnes. I mean, he's been doing very well in Premier League, but whether this climb is just a bit out of his toolkit.
That's the thing, is I don't feel like we see much like this in the last time we saw something like this when it comes to a finish, not a mountaintop finish, but like what we just saw in the women's race. This kind of just all out. What did they climb that in? Well, I mean, that's got to be a new segment PR, I would think.
That's a good point. Let me have a look.
Yeah, like that's got to be a new segment PR. Let's see here.
Here we go. Climb forward 3. Oh no, that would be
New York climb.
Zoe
forward,
Langham
right?
did it in 2:58, averaging 343 watts, 6.9 watts per kg. Whoa, 6.9 watts per kg for 2:58.
Now, right?
That's what she did now. Yeah, I don't know if they would have populated the updates yet.
The segments aren't updated yet. It's 2:58. You said
2:58. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the third fastest time ever. If she was the fastest over the top there. So she was actually the fastest through that segment, but it wasn't the first across the line. Interesting. Yeah. And you said what was the watts per kilogram?
6.9. That is crazy from Zoe Langham. Nuts.
Wow. Yeah, so for those 3 seconds, the difference between 6.6 and 6.9, because Alexandra Knowles from KC has a 3:01 that she did on January 28th of 2020 over the front of that. Wow. Yeah, and so I mean, Keith Robertson, I'd have to agree with you with this. Like, this is a good point. Like, and this is what I'm gonna say too. This field has so much depth. No, like I'm kind of like I just am throwing my hands in the air and all. But okay, Freddie Ovitt. If Freddie can do what we saw him do on the KOM climb, on the volcano in the Premier Division last year, I think it was. That guy can kick like an insane final kick after climbing at 6 watts per kilogram for 5 minutes. He was still able to do 12 watts per kilogram, right? Like
yeah.
So I don't know. Ovitt, if Ovitt can do what he did last year, I don't see him being stoppable. I just don't, because he just walked away from everybody else. But this is a different year. This is a different, the depth, even the training that these guys have been doing, who's been discovered here. Because I don't think it's going to be a bottom to top Usborne situation. I mean, Usborne went at the steep part last year and then they just watched him go away. I don't know if they forgot that there was a race or what happened, but it was just over. So
yeah. And what is you had Reese on before? What's Reese's picks? I mean, he'll be going for Team New Zealand, I'm guessing.
He actually didn't make any picks. We didn't. No, we didn't actually do any picks in the men's race. We did all women's race picks actually. So I didn't actually get anything from him. I don't think. I think he wants Lionel obviously to win, but yeah. What is this? Thanks for the super chat coming on through. Coffee and donut donation for the watch party coverage. Jeremy Hopwood, appreciate you. That's the first ever super chat. We've ever gotten. Literally, we've never gotten super chat.
It is so cool.
So really appreciate it,
Jeremy Hopwood. You're a legend. What a stone cold legend. And from the little picture, is he in a time trial position with no socks? That tells me he's a triathlete. So good job for the triathletes. That's awesome. My gosh. I mean, I do have a coffee.
There is like a complete distinction on Fashion Police happening right here. Like, oh gosh. No socks, triathlete position. Do you ride that time trial bike in Zwift too?
Oh, he'd have to, yeah. I was actually being asked for fashion advice for some of the women in the race. So hopefully they just stood out and looked amazing. Evelyn looked great in her resplendent Canadian kit. I have been looking at a few of the riders out there in the men's race. I mean, I'm sure you covered this off, but all the bikes are totally neutralized. So you
They
could
can ride whatever
really
they
pick.
want. They can, yeah,
They
they can
could
ride
pick a
whatever they
bike,
want.
yeah, purely on some pretty stellar fashion choice on the bike. So I really liked that. I haven't seen anyone, I think everyone's so nervous that they're actually just picking the bike you would pick for this course anyway, just in case.
Um, Keith Robertson, I like your comment here coming in. Ovid has been training specifically for this. Yeah, and I think Ovid wants to win this so badly. I have Vyasin passion. He'll be there. I'm not sure that he's got it though. For that final kick, we'll see. Watch out for Andy Nichols. Is kind of this like dark horse card that it's been played by Keith Robertson here. Andy Nichols. Let's take a look at him and his stats situation for Andy. I can actually bring that right on in. Let's go ahead and see what Mr. Nichols here. It looks like he's got personal best 14.5 for 15 seconds. And he's got a 5.620. So he's in with the front group still, and he's only averaged 4.1 watts per kilogram. So that's Andy Nichols from Great Britain. We did just see Adagist like completely come out of the woodwork and win a world championship, and we said that a lot throughout the couple the weeks leading up here, that the depth and the discovery that's been happening is just real, and we just saw it proven in front of us just now.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's kind of, I think it's really cool, this World Champs compared to last year. I think last year it was kind of finding its way a little bit, and it was a bit of a sort of, I'd say 2/3 were sort of professional in real life riders, and then a third were kind of esport riders, and it made it, a kind of interesting race to watch. For people who are really into Zwifting, you kind of would have watched it and been like, this is a bit odd. Whereas this time it is, the way they've picked teams, they've selected some in real life riders, but there's so many who have just come through these qualifications and they're well known in the community. So the people watching now are loving it because they've been like, I see that guy out riding. I've actually raced with that person. This is fantastic. And there's a bit more of a skin in the game. And I like the course better as well to last year. It's a real, it's horrible, this course. It's gonna pick the most powerful person, right? It's so hard.
No, this course is very, very difficult. One of the most difficult courses out there. Question: was Teppo in Lord of the Rings? I don't think so.
Yeah, I saw that coming out. What are they talking about?
Well,
I'm a Lord of the Rings fan,
does
but
he have like a big? Does he have? I think he's shaved though, but sometimes he's got this beard going. Like maybe he was one of the wizards. I don't know. Karsten saying buffalo bike. You could actually do a big wheel or buffalo bike, and because they are all. But I don't think they would allow you to. I have a feeling that they would say no for the broadcast, but you could do it. They would all be equalized, right? So you could ride whatever bike you want to.
I know. I saw like the buffalo. That is actually what I thought too. I was like, oh, that would be so great to be on the buffalo bike or just the most a mountain bike. But I think if you're racing, it's so, everyone I was talking to this morning, I mean, obviously a lot of my teammates from Saris No Pins, the guys and the girls, and then also we had Evelyn from Riot. They're nervous, man. Like everyone is just, it was nervous in the pens. There wasn't a lot of chat. Like it's not like your regular Zwift race, and there's so, I mean, it was great. I guess to give a bit of a, I don't know how much Reese gave, a bit of a background to the sort of DS support and the team support. Each country got their own dedicated WhatsApp channel with the support person. So this morning, I'm getting messages 2 hours before, like, okay, this person has a labeled drink bottle on their bike. I can see it on camera. Make sure that's not there. This person's camera is slightly the wrong. It was so professionally done, and the support was amazing. Like the wraparound support was phenomenal. So each country having that dedicated person, yeah, it was great seeing that lead in, which I think also makes people more nervous though, because you've got that constant contact. It just makes it a bit different, of
More
having to do all that
official. It
stuff.
has this like official feeling
Really
to it.
official.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
got an
yeah.
official feeling.
This is really high level. Everyone's getting this like pressure because the amount of investment that's going into it from everyone. You know that this is a big event, right? Like there's a lot of people who have committed a lot of time, effort, and resources to making this happen, and you're showing up for the show, right? Like that puts just a lot of pressure on it. Teppo just gave a little good dig off the front. I think it was just a TV time dig. It wasn't serious. If you're gonna go from this pack, it's orange numbers, right? It's not gonna be just a little press.
I think, I mean, the TV time stuff is like for real, right? Like there'll be people who just want to get out there and be able to get some good screen grabs and some good little video clips for later.
Like I was in the World Championships. There I am off the front.
There I am off the front, and just don't look at the kilometers. But yeah, have many people been dropped now? I don't see too many off the back. All the big hitters are there.
I mean,
James Harvey going off the front, Kiwi boy. Up at 5.92, so he's digging there. I've messaged you. I'm still not.
Hodges is off the back. Brian Hodges is off the back. He's the guy who kicked hard over the top, and he's off the back. Peter Evenant, Aiden Sinclair, Andre Matthias, Aaron Borrell, Hidenori Sachi, Alex Bonya, Resuk Handa, Paul Kalita, Michael Bazwitsk. I can't do that Polish name. I just can't do it. That's all the riders that are off the back at this point. So we do have 70 in the pack still. I mean, that 70 riders.
Jeez, 70. That's insane.
Like,
yeah, okay.
How is this going to get blown apart? I don't know. We might have kind of more of your classic sprinters road race here because
I think, we're going to have to look at the next climb, see what happens there. If there are going to be teams who do not want this many at the finish. There will be teams who aren't particularly great at hill climbing who would love this because you'll get such a draft going up portions of that climb. I mean, those who are watching, this climb. Like it's not, 18% the whole way. There are 2 or 3 little flat portions where you can, if there's a draft, just push through the draft and then kind of get momentum up the next part. So the non-climbers and the heavier riders will love this. Now, the lighter riders, they've got to do something to break this up. I mean, you'd want to be coming in with max maybe 20 into this last climb.
That's a really good point, Anna. So can you explain this to everybody? Because some people are like, what are you talking about? Like, there's a climb. Like, wait, no, like like the speeds that the men, especially in the men's category, talk about Zwift physics and the draft and how the draft is increased even more the higher the speed is. Just so everybody knows, like up a hill, if the speed is really high, there's a really good draft actually.
Yeah, so this climb, unlike if anyone, did the Zwift Racing League, sort of, you've got your epic climbs, your Innsbruck climbs. Yes, that is just watts per kg. You settle into your rhythm and you go. This climb is not like that. So this climb, it pushes to sort of 14%, flattens, pushes up, flattens, pushes up, and then there's a flat bit right before the final kick to the line. Now, if you're in a group of 70, you are just going so quick up these sort of flat portions that you just momentum through the hard bit. You just get out of your saddle and you crank up. I mean, these guys, all their trainers are set at 100% difficulty. So it is hard. You will feel it, but you'll get the momentum. And it is just very, very hard to break away from a group of 70 on this climb, which for the men could be, around 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes. So this is more of that. And I saw chat coming in earlier as well, which I totally agree with. This is more of that 1 to 5 minute power rider that you're looking at. You're not looking
with a crazy kick.
Yeah, with a crazy kick. This last bit, if you saw in the women's race, it's the sprinter. A sprinter won the race. If you look at her power profile, she's got the best sprint. So she just had to stay in there on the climb. So I think you're not looking at that climber here. This is why I'm kind of thinking like James Barnes kind of a rider, like someone who can sprint off very, very fatigued legs. That's the sort of person you're looking at here. They can just stay up, get out of the saddle, crank, and be able to sprint on that flat part near the end into that final climb. So yeah, it's not really, it's a puncher's race. If you're looking at in real life, you're kind of looking at the Alaphilippe type of rider.
Good point.
In my
yeah,
opinion.
you're right. No, I think you're 100% right there. 100% right there. Interesting enough to see. So Barney's streaming his real life point of view. It looks like.
Oh, he's not. I don't think he's allowed to do that.
No, it's just him. It's just him.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's just him on camera. Yeah. It's just him on camera. So, well, there's actually
I know, 'cause my parents,
people watching on Twitch on Zwift's channel. That's interesting.
Nice. That's good.
I wonder where that must be embedded somewhere. I would think to get that many viewers, I bet you it's embedded on their website or something. Because that channel is not really followed. Like, so it's got 1.2K followers. So I bet you they took that stream and put it embedded over like on their website or something over there. Because there's no chat either, which a lot of times means that it's just an embed. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I shot you a message on Discord, Nathan, but it's it looks as though we have a couple of people who have come off the front as well. I've got to say, I am loving, I'm going to go to fashion. And of course, I think the New Zealand kit is the best by far, but really digging the Japanese kit, actually. Really cool. Red with some sort of splashes of white across there. I do want to ask if anyone's watching who knows, I couldn't answer the question. Do these guys get to keep this kit in game afterwards? I wasn't sure, because that would be really awesome if they get to keep this going in, and be able to race with it around Zwift. I know the riders on my team have been on Zwift a lot since they got the kit, just so they could ride around with their in real life kit on going on as well.
That'd be kind of cool. I wonder if they get to keep it. I doubt it though. You think? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I have a feeling that they're gonna do something about. Wow, 8 seconds. Otima and Takasuki off the front here. Now, 2 riders is very different than what we saw in the women's race. Very different, right? Like,
that's what I think. Yep. Yeah, there was an interesting question too that came up. I was obviously watching your feed a lot during the race. It was a long race. Would cross-country Discord happen? Now, I don't think officially, but I think kind of like you always have that question in real life when you've got a world tour team, then they're racing for their countries. Would they kind of inadvertently work together? Could you have riders who say race for next?
Was there a rule about that there was no rules about that, was there?
I don't think I saw any rules.
Because if there's no rule against it, anybody could do it if they wanted to.
Yeah, so you could work with your sort of Zwift Racing League teammate, right? Which would be kind of cool if you wanted to sort of mix things up a little bit. So not sure, but that would be something I'd be kind of interested to see if anyone would do that, because that's what we could start seeing a little bit more of with these world champs. People get very embedded in their own Premier League team racing. You couldn't help but kind of work together, even if you're not in that country.
Yeah, and I think the other thing when it comes to that is when you have multiple nations going, that would cause a little bit more of a lull almost, I would think. In some ways, or at least a panic, and then try and send more up the road. It could just make things more interesting, I think. But Tema continues.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're looking pretty good. I mean, it could be a airtime thing as well, because not sure that's the best strategy. They've still got quite a lot of racing to go.
Drake has no chance in the men's race. Pack bigger than women. Speed higher with extra weight and power. Keith is saying, come on. I always like to see a break. I think he's right. Nathan, can you mix a oh, sorry. I turned her up and I thought it was no good, but I am soft probably. Thanks, Anton. She should be good now. I'm just quiet, I think, is the problem. And I think that's actually the problem. I keep moving my mic around, and this one is super directional.
Right, okay.
So anyways, sorry about that, Anton. Appreciate you giving that feedback though.
This is the hard part of a race
Barney looks
Is he right?
he looks a little. I mean, he looks a little tired already, to be honest. Or maybe, maybe also there is a reality. I think a lot of these riders are gonna be trying to get. I mean, I'm sorry, it's reality. They might be trying to get as light as they can prior to the race. I mean, what do you think about that, Anna?
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's a hard one, right? I think you can't help this. I don't know. I'm kind of split on this, right? Because say if I use my own example, there's a point for me weight wise where it's like the sweet spot. My power is good and I can still climb fast. But anything that kind of pushes under that, it's just you're on that knife edge of being sick, over fatigued, you've got nothing in your legs, you've got no energy. And actually, I think it's better to be on the little bit of the heavier side, but have great power and great legs than a bit on the lighter side, but feel like rubbish. And I
Yep.
think that's kind of what people are kind of trying to find the right balance of. And if you get it wrong, like it really sucks because you feel terrible. And you think you should feel good because you're going to climb a second or two faster. I think, my experience is actually just better to be a little bit heavier and feel good.
Yeah, and you actually you could end up just off the back so incredibly quickly, actually. Like, you could just end up being blown up immediately if you don't have the power in the legs because you ended up just being a little bit too light. So you have to watch out for that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, on that front, just I always like to maybe encourage people to stay strong. You know what I mean? Like being strong. And I've actually found
Yeah.
that like my way back in the day, I would like really focus on watts per kilogram so much. And my race weight, I was trying to get like in pounds, I'd try and get sub 145. It was always like, oh, if I can get sub 140, I'll be so fast or whatever. And like when I started racing and being okay with racing, and there's something like mentally that would happen with me about being okay with racing at 150. And I actually, because I was okay with racing at 150, all of my intervals ended up getting stronger. All my stress scores started getting stronger. And then next thing you know, I'm racing, I'm struggling to do 330 watts during my 20 intervals or whatever it might be. And then next thing you know, I'm doing 360 and I've gained more watts per kilogram actually at racing 5 pounds heavier, and it's like, it was a huge benefit actually racing the 5 pounds heavier.
Absolutely. I think if people can just sort of, forget. It's hard. It's really hard though, because it's kind of what makes you mentally feel good. If you jump on the scale and you're a kg heavier and that makes you mentally lose your mind, that's a hard place to come back to. But if you can disassociate performance from weight somewhat, especially on a course like this, like we said, you're not going up an Alp d'Huez, you're not going up an Innsbruck climb. So you can get away with just really high power. Just do want to note that Alex Bogner, who was the Zwift Academy winner coming out of Australia, he's now racing for Alps and Phoenix, has dropped off the back. So he's 2 minutes behind.
Ooh, I see that. Yeah.
Now. Yeah, he's gone 2 minutes behind. So that's an unfortunate drop for them.
I wonder if that was a power dropout or something. Like,
not sure. I mean, it is hard, I've got to say, for these pro riders who are now in Europe trying to get ready for their pro season. He'll be probably looking at some of these spring classics coming up. It's hard to peak too much, right? So, I know that from the pro girls and the New Zealand team, you can't kind of peak for a race like this, which is really hard, over 50K on this kind of a course, and then peak again for next week when you're going to go race, what is it, Strade Bianche or something. So, yeah, it's hard for them to do both. I think it's almost impossible to be racing.
Those are very different realities here. We're talking on like, an hour to 2 hours of full on XC racing type effort versus, like something where you need to be riding for 6 hours on the bike every day to get ready for. I mean, that's a really, really different world. On the last thing on the weight thing, there is a reality though too. My thing at this point when it comes to food, eat super clean and eat a lot, right? Don't just eat whatever,
Oh.
right? Like super
Although-
clean and eat a lot. Like, and make sure that you're getting refueled. I shouldn't say eat a lot, but eat what you need to be completely fueled for every single workout. And not being short on that, right?
Yeah. It's although what were you eating on this broadcast? Because I saw a comment when I first came on that I had
This is
healthier
not
eating
eating
habits than
super
you.
clean. This is not eating super clean. Well, I don't know, like
Yeah.
Gouda cheese. It's not horrible, but it's definitely a snack, that's for sure. And goat
Oh,
cheese
that's a
and
good choice though.
and some blue corn chips. And then I also got some Synergy kombucha, GT Synergy. So
Nice.
weigh-in is 2 hours to 1 hour before the race, you said, Anna?
Yeah. So they've got so the poor Aussie racers. I mean, they were up at 3 a.m. getting their weigh-ins done. That's a bit brutal. What I would like to see.
Second climb, Anna.
Oh, sorry.
Second climb.
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
No,
You're good. Sam Hill's on the front. Jay Vine's following closely here. Actually, all of Australia, it looks like, with one Norwegian rider, have made their way to the front going into the climb. What do you think about positioning, Anna? Best position?
So the thing I said to my team on this climb is be top third. So that way when you've got a group this size, it's even more imperative for the men's. If you're at the back, you can't actually see the leaders because it goes up. You're blocked by the riders in front and you can't see what's going on unless you're keeping an eye on the sort of right-hand side. By then it's too late to get all the way up. So top third, and when it's drafting and these bits through the step ups, is don't drop your power too much because you'll get shunted off to the back and then you'll hit the next climb and be at the back again. I think one of the biggest the risk factors for this climb is actually parts of the downhill, because it's steps and it's actually quite risky to get into the super tuck position. So you can get in it and then you hit a flat area and then suddenly your rider's stepped up. And if you're in a group this size, people will come through if they're powering through the flat. So really risky on the downhills as well. So looks like Aussie has got a definite tactic here with Jay Vine and Sam Hill though.
Jay just threw his feather power up. He just threw his feather power up and threw down 10 watts per kilogram on the 11% here. Like, he's actually trying to split this, it looks like.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's I wonder who they're riding for.
Hill?
Jay Vine is a big team player as well. And I don't know the Australian tactics. I won't assume to know that. But I think that they may actually be sort of saying, Jay, because he's got races coming up in real life, be saying, look, I will go all in to work for this team, which it looks like. Look at Torben Partridge Madsen there in the picture. He is working really, really hard. I'm actually just watching the broadcast coverage because I figured that's what our audience is probably watching too, so I can comment on what they're seeing. But Jay is dropping 8 watts per kg.
Jay looks comfortable.
Looks all right.
Like, he actually looks like it wasn't that big of a deal what he just did.
Yeah.
What the heck? I mean, he just went full on. Like, that was insane.
He's a legit rider. I mean, he's got a heart rate now of 175. He is looking, he looks relaxed. And he'll have his
he just looked over at Bree, was like, oh yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
Like,
he is a cool character. I like him. I like the style he rides with. He looks great riding for Alpecin Phoenix too. He's been a great signing for that team. He'll be pretty excited for the season coming up. But yeah, looking really, really strong. Pushed pace a little bit there and it didn't really generate too much of a chase. Looks like got some of looked like a Spanish rider came through there. Everyone coming back together. Doesn't look like there's been a whole lot of damage done. Seeing a few, what have we got there? Torben Madsen, also a good rider from Aussie. Right up there, James Harvey, the Kiwi rider. Looks like there's a few Kiwi riders there. Bit of a mix. This is a good place to drop the feather. Now, this is where the winner of the women's race dropped her feather and managed to get away from Ashley Mormon-Passio. Ashley dropped it on the really steep part leading up to this flat, didn't manage to get away enough, and then the rider dropped it right here where they're heading towards the finish line and opened up a sprint. So that is the good timing to do that. I think, someone came and commented before that Ashley's strategy of going bottom to top wasn't the best, but that's her skill set. She's a climber, so that's kind of that's the only thing she could work with.
She did make the final selection.
Yeah.
But Just wasn't enough at the end there. I think you're right. It did have a lot to do with that feather power up and the timing of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Ovitz. Like, let's compare some watt per kilogram on Zwift Power so far. Who's putting in a lot of work? Fabian Devola, 4.7 right now. We're seeing also Takatsugi from the World Elite Zwifters riding out of Japan. They're 4.6.
Got Cal Power from Canyon Beta,
4.5.
4.5. That's high.
Jason
Alex
Osborne
Heaney
still
there.
here?
Sometimes look at Alex Heaney has been averaging 316 watts for this race thus far. They're 46 minutes in. That is a lot of work.
Well, how much does he weigh? 72. Look at wow. Look at Leandre Bouchard there at 79 kilograms, 357 watts so far.
Oh, that's unpleasant.
357 watts? Are you kidding me? Like, wow. Who's saved the most? That's my question. Patrick Wally coming in at 3.8 watts per kilogram is made. Gavin Dempster, it's a name we have not mentioned a lot. That is a rider to watch out for, in my opinion. Dempster at 3.8 so far has just been sitting in, biding his time. Zach Neer.
Yeah.
A lot of the next riders actually have not been doing much at all. They've been playing it really. Christopher McGlinchey. Man, like the names just keep going on here. Like they're just nonstop. Is there an attack off the front or no? No.
I'm just looking at a few dropped riders too, because I know that the coverage won't really show that. We've got Rick Otima from Dutch Racing, Paul Odlin from World Elite Zwifters, Toshiaki Magawa, Chris Yip from Elite Zwifters. He's been dropped. Fabio Costa, Joe Reese, Wahoo Cole. So those are the riders who dropped on that climb. We've got a few about 7 seconds off the pace, but I imagine the group will be big enough that they'll catch back on. Austin Freeman, is that question to us? Because we don't show the race, but what I would say is, you got it. Go watch the race on YouTube and we'll be commenting in our watch party is what we're doing.
Yeah, Russell, he is a good Dempster definitely is a super chill rider when it comes to keeping his cool, that's for sure. So he's very, very smart rider. Andy Nichols off the front by 2 seconds. A little bit of a go. Looks like he's brought back into.
I've just seen this was sorry Nathan, Jay Vine he's been training at altitude. He's dropped his cycling setup down to sea level for today's race.
Oh,
so he is taking this serious. I thought he was just, being a bit of a workhorse, but that tells me he is treating this pretty seriously.
Where'd you see that?
Just saw that commented on the Zwift broadcast of the race. Yeah, so he's
really?
He moved his setup from Andorra down to sea level in Girona. So there we go, taking this race very seriously.
This is going to be interesting. I mean, that's did Jason Osborne just go off the front? What is he doing? Oh, no, is that a Tema?
No, he wasn't off the front. I think he was just like, those time differences on screen are like point something.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. I see.
Like
well, it's all Grupo
Compacto
Compacto again, like super chilled out. Nobody's going anywhere. Great Britain with a little bit of a go, it looks like. No, is that? Yeah, Nichols again continues to push these little. Maybe Andy Nichols is trying to make something happen here. Ramses is closing it down pretty quickly there out of Canada. So I mean, these again. I just for the men's race, I'd have to agree with Chat though. I just feel like not going to be something that's going to usually come to any kind of real break. This is a little bit of a false flat. Jaden Yeager, they're out of USA. I've raced against Jaden, actually. Looking to go across in real life. He was actually a big player in the Toad. That guy in Tour of America's Dairyland, the pack would flip out if like you let him go off the front because the guy can just time trial like huge watts, dude. Big guy. And just can throw down big power and huge speed. And he would hold the pack off at like 30 miles per hour for like lap after lap after lap. It was just
Yeah.
insane power from that guy.
Yeah, that's the I still don't know if, because I'm kind of looking at the Ben Hill here because he's got those crazy time trial watts. Could he go off the front and stay away and just push really high watts? I just think on this course, I mean, it actually could be possible because in the last lap, it rolls and rolls and rolls. It's hard to get a rhythm as a pack. The pack could be really unmotivated to chase. And then you've just got that climb, and it's not a long enough climb for the climbers to catch him. So it is a legit strategy people could use. The issue they have is that when you've got downhills like leading in to Harlem Hill and then the downhill after Harlem Hill, they're long enough that the pack speed is just so high over the individual TT rider. If you had a portion of this course that was closer to the climb, that was flat, I think you could, but I just think the nature of this course, the downhills leading into the climb, they're just too long. And you've seen, I saw in the women's race as well, people would get off the front and immediately 15 seconds was down to 5 seconds just from that pack speed.
4 riders
Team
off
Germany
the front
is
now. USA,
Team
Germany,
lighting up.
Norway is there. Belgium's looking to get involved. Kevin Bouchard, not Kevin Bouchard, but Leandre Bouchard there from Canada. I mean, we've got 4 of the teams involved now. Austria looking to go across. These are big jumps too. These are orange numbers. These are numbers that are actually looking to get into the break. This is not pulling the pack back. We've got 5 now off the front. This is a real break situation. Sam Hill from Australia, Harvey. It looks like Australia is looking to control this, completely looking to control this. They do not want that to go. They're putting patches on the front to just keep the speed high.
Yeah, there are some. Australia has picked their team really well because they've got the likes of Ben Hill, Partridge Madsen, very, very good at that just consistent effort, and they can pull back these. They're probably the ones who've been told, go rein them in, go rein them in. Whether that can then benefit their riders behind, who then, better on the sort of sprints up the climb, we'll have to see. But they've got a very well-rounded team, in my opinion. Similar somewhat to Team USA in the women's. I think they kind of had a good team with that sort of the strategy of pushing off the front. I'm not sure about the Team USA in the men's race. What's their kind of makeup like? Do they you think they'll play a tactical game, or is it all in for themselves?
I think they're going to play a tactical game. I definitely do. That's why Spencer's off the front now at this point. So they sent Segerbrook off the front, who I don't think is really a rider who's going to be involved. I mean, he's a great sprinter, pretty purely a sprinter though. I mean, we have seen him take like a Watopia forward hill climb out before amongst like Premier Division level. I don't know about World Championship level though. And and those were some of the older days too. We see this pack off the front, 11 seconds, and they are working really well together right now to put punches in. They're getting the kind of speeds that they need on the downhill. Let's see what kind of speed it gets up to. I'm seeing 65 kilometers per hour, 66, 67. It's going to be maxing out at, I think, 67. What is the pack going to hit? That's going to be the real question. They might not even hit 67, actually.
Yeah, and looking at this rider, Spencer Segerbrook from Canyon, the USA rider here. I mean, you look at his Zwift power profile, 20-minute power, 5.32 watt per kg. So he is that diesel engine that they're putting on the front here. And I wouldn't put my life on it, actually. That's too big of a call. I would say that these other riders in here are also similar, just very, very good raw watts. And if that's the case, this is a great little breakaway from these. I mean, what are we sitting at now? About 12, 13 seconds. This would be dangerous, I would say. This has got to be dangerous.
It is dangerous. This many riders that are this strong, it's definitely a breakaway situation that could work, in my opinion. And if the pack doesn't do something about this, they're going to be in trouble. Laverick now sees it's an issue, going to 8 watts per kilogram from Great Britain. They're actually throwing down a bunch of aero power-ups in the pack right now.
Yeah.
Like a ton of them.
Yeah, they're going to be worried. Look at that, because look at this group. You've got Canadian, USA. Who's missed out here? Because that's the question you've got to ask yourselves. Looks like there is not there is an Australian rider. I can't tell if that's Spain
Great
or
Britain's
Australia.
not involved. There's no
so those riders,
Australian rider.
There's no Australian. No Kiwi rider. Those riders, those riders who aren't there, they've got to pull this in. This is great tactics from these 5 riders at the front. Team Japan, Norway, America,
is Japan
Canada.
Is
Perfect.
That right?
It looks like Japan. That's that kind of. Is that Japan? I think that's that red kit with the kind of white across, or maybe that's oh no, that looks like oh gosh, let me test it on my
Norway's
flags.
involved. Norway's involved.
Keplinger.
Austria.
Let's click on his name.
Austria's in there.
Austria. That's it.
Yeah,
Austria.
Belgium, German.
This has caught Australia, New Zealand, those teams who haven't got a rider up yet. They're not in a strong position now because this is great. This is like what you would see in real life racing, a little breakaway with key players. And then this is just setting up so strong for the likes of Team USA, where they could if they catch the pack, you can just send the next rider attacking off the front and just putting the chase riders on the front, the likes of Australia. It's messed up their own strategy. It's kind of thrown a cat amongst the pigeons. It's kind of put them on the back foot, which is what you want to see if you're a team like this attacking off the front.
They can't sit up, though, and they can't start fighting. They're starting to fight a little bit. Perot here from Belgium is off the front by 6 watts per kilogram. Martin's now punching the 7. So in this race, Sam Hill's on the front at 4.8 watts per kilogram, 5 watts per kilogram for Australia. He's actually got a gap on the pack. Is he trying to instigate, I wonder, to get the pack to start moving? Because, I mean, Australia is going to be freaking out, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. This is not a good position for them all. There's only 13 kilometers to go. And this group at the front, I mean, being led out here by Perot, they are moving. Like, this is insane. Like, they are going very hard. This is all in for the win, or all in for their team. Racing for BZR here. Again, a rider with really, really good 20-minute power, 5.75 watts per kg for Joe Perot here. And also dangerously a good 5-minute and 1-minute power as well. So 6.73 watt per kg for 5 minutes. I mean, this is the type of person you don't want in your group heading into the kind of climb they've got approaching. 13.4k to go. The climb is, 1,500 meters-ish. Yeah, Australia's putting Sam Hill on the front because he's got that time trial engine. They'll just be saying to him now, bury yourself. We've got to get back on. 16 seconds now. I mean, I always say if it goes over 15, you're in danger time. So that's what we're seeing. They've got 2 Aussies now pushing up the front. They're going to be taking 1-2 turns.
Partridge Madsen to the front, 5.6 watts per kilogram. They're just trying to keep it within that striking distance still, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. South Africa going off the front.
Interesting.
How did they let this group go away? I'm just, were they sleeping a little bit? I mean, you would have had to have got at least one rider up there. Then you could save your whole team.
I think
now
they all thought it wouldn't work.
I
thought they saw how big the pack was, and they just thought this isn't going to work. Oh yeah, orange numbers, no big deal, let it go. They're starting to infight a little bit though. On the front, 3.1 watts per kilogram. I'd be so frustrated with this pack, with the way they're sitting. That's not what you want to be doing right now. You got to keep the pace up. 54 kilometers per hour. That's what you need to see from this pack right now. It's got to stay around that 48 to 50 plus, really.
Yeah. Oh man, this is 17 seconds back now. Oh, they're not. Australia, New Zealand, I got to say, Great Britain as well, caught napping. This is not ideal for their race at all. They have no choice but to sacrifice some riders now. Well played to those riders at the front. This is amazing.
Jeremy Hopwood, this is a good question. It does work, but it really depends on the way that the chase is organized. If there's only a couple of people, he's asking how well is blocking working. If there's only a couple of people pulling through, you can really block a lot. But if there is a couple of teams pulling through and they have a lot of interest, it doesn't work really well. You just end up accelerating the pack actually by going to the front, by carrying speed there. But if there's only 1 or 2 riders doing it and you kind of fight them a little bit for the front and then you just slow down, yes, you definitely can block it. But
I would say
more than 1 or 2, then it's more difficult.
It's a really good question. The only time I think blocking in Zwift successfully works is on consistent climb. I've seen it work really well on Innsbruck climb. Even some of the shorter climbs in London map. New York, way too rolling. Because as soon as you get to the front, then you hit a downhill and the pack will just come by anyway. So if you're on a climb, that works. You move to the front, pull back the watts just a little and people kind of get a bit stuck behind and you're not going to hit it down. But yeah, it doesn't work on this kind of a course at all.
McGlinchey's looking to go across, it looks like. 8 watts per kilogram from him. Full orange numbers through the lap banner right now. So I think
The Irish rider, right? So
yeah.
you're only gonna, the only way you can get across to this group is, full orange numbers, sprint the gap, because you don't want to bring anyone with you. Because I think Australia's got the riders to get on the front and push high power. But what are we at now? Still 17 seconds. We've got how long to go now? Looks like the
so what is it? What's the total?
numbers.
The total is
Total's
gonna be
about
55
52.
kilometers. Yeah, so 55-ish, I think. So 10K to go.
Okay, yeah. So looks like they're going to finish about an hour 15. Man, 10K to go. Do you reckon they'll bring it down, Nathan? It's down to 15 seconds now.
I do think.
Looks
I
like
think Australia have done enough, and really Australia is the team that's doing all the work. I mean, they're doing everything at this point. No one else has made their way to the front, and they're all riding for Jay. It's as clear as it possibly can be. Well, Ben too. Ben hasn't been on the front either, so I think they're riding for those.
Freddie Overt. He's Australian.
Is he Australian?
Who's he?
I'm sorry, did I miss that? Oh, I missed that.
Well, it's because I didn't realize that too. Rides for Legion. I thought I wasn't aware he was. Yeah, he's definitely Team Australia. So Freddie Overt and Jay Vine. I actually think it could be Freddie Overt who they're riding for. Could suit him a bit better than Jay Vine.
That's why they set Jay to the front. I see. That's why they set Jay to the front on the second climb over the top, because they're riding for Freddie. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Or both. They could be looking to sweep the podium. Like, what if Australia just sweep the podium? Like, completely take the whole thing out?
I mean, you're also looking at the riders at the front, because Australia's having to do a lot of work. You do have now riders in this chase from, say, the States. Brian Duffy Jr., I'm looking at Kevin Bouchard-Hall, Zach Neer, Ryan Larson. I mean, they're all still sitting in the pack, and they just get to sit in and relax. So those riders too are going to be danger time. Look at Australia moving off the front, being led here by Sam Hill, and as picture in picture, he is working very hard. I love
concerned.
this. Yeah.
They're getting concerned. They really are at this point. Look, it's nothing but Australia on the front. Everything for their team members. Yeah.
This is Torben Padgemadsen, Sam Hill. This is great. Sam Hill, I loved seeing him in the Zwift Academy. He just seemed like such a great personality, great guy, and he is pushing hard for his team at the moment. So great job on him. I love to see that full teamwork happening. Pat coming through a little bit. They're on a little bit of a downhill. South Africa too. I mean, what are they up to? They've got James Barnes in there, South African, based in Australia, I think, or based in New Zealand, I think. But it's what is he going to do? I mean, he doesn't have a rider at the front. He's just sitting in the pack. He's just hoping and praying that Australia is going to do all the work and bring it back in. 17 seconds still. This is not great as we see Sam Hill going to the front yet again.
My question, okay, if they burn all their matches, right? Like, Australia burns all their matches as far as chasers go. Is another team going to start doing the work? You know, or like eventually they're going to go, forget it, right? Like, there's just nothing more that we're going to be able to do here. I don't know. Like, we'll see. I'm seeing the chat's really interesting over at the Zwift channel. Like,
howdy bud, Nathan Guerra.
Yeah, well, there's that, and there's also, why is Australia doing the work? They're not the favorites. But I'm looking at this going, they have a good percentage of the favorites, though, right?
Yeah.
We'll see.
I see someone else putting in there, where is Team Belgium working for Lionel? Absolutely. What they have to kind of do some work here too.
Well, they have one. They have someone in the break though.
I know, but I guess Do they Belgium?
Yeah, Perot.
Yes,
Perot is in the break. Yeah, Perot is in the break. So this is gonna get shut down right here. This is getting shut down. The pack is gonna.
Wow! Look at that picture in picture. Look at Martin Mertens. Wow, that's a great name. Martin Mertens there from Germany.
Where is he?
In real life.
He's at some sort of cool live event for the Worlds.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. I love seeing that. I think Belgium Might have done that too. I know they just recently had their national champs at a sort of arena complex like that. That is cool. That is a great way to do world champs, having that crowd support behind you. Man, yeah, go Martin Mertens. Fantastic. And that lead group too, pushing hard.
Lead group just did like huge watts up and over the top just of that climb, and they're going to keep the gap. They're actually they didn't keep the gap. They increased their gap over that punch.
Yeah. Danger time, 6 kilometers to go. This is not long. I see someone coming in. Can anyone in this group that's leading? Duncan's asking, who are the best climbers? Well, like I said, Spencer Segerbrook there from the USA from Canyon had a great 1 to 5 minute power. I think the question is here, not as who is the best climber, who has the best 5 minute power or 1 minute, because it's a very short climb.
Out of this group, Martins is the favorite. Martins is by far the favorite. Yeah. The guy who's at the arena. The guy who's at that arena with all these people around him screaming at him right now. I mean, talk about the energy. Like, that would be so cool.
19 seconds. 19 seconds now to this chase pack, up to 20 seconds. I think this could, I don't want to get too excited and call this too early. I think this could be it. It will be between these 5 riders, or 6 riders.
South Africa's on the front now working for Barnes. Now the other countries are starting to get involved. They're going to go, and this is good timing, actually. With 16 seconds and this long time to go, they close it down to 10 before the climb, and then boom, there's going to be craziness on the climb. They might be able to still pull this. They can still pull this back, but they have to get organized right now. Right now.
If I was James Barnes, I would be screaming into Discord, "Work for me! Get on the front!" Like, who cares about what position you finish in? Get on the front.
James can't say anything right now. Look at James. That's James Barnes right now. James didn't say nothing.
Okay.
He's just suffering.
Dead then. He's got the eyes of a sufferfest, that is for sure. It's like those dead eyes, right? Where you're just, all your energy has gone into your limbs and your eyes are just dead. It's, oh my gosh, this is exciting. That very, very short time to go, under 5 kilometers to go now. Bit of rolling terrain. We're seeing Sam Hill on the front yet again. What do you think of these strategies, Nathan? I would have thought, instead of just putting him on the front for short periods of time, if he's got the energy to keep going on the front, go on the front until you catch. Just
look at what's happening to the pack. It's going into time trial mode. It's going into an echelon because of how much pace is going on at the front of the pack. They are in complete chase mode, and it's going to work. Yeah. It is going to work even at the front of this break. Now at this point, I think they've recognized it, that it's just too much. They're starting to have some infighting even, and the pace at the front of that pack is just way too intense. Partridge Madsen again at 6.2 watts per kilogram, flying to pull this back in. Australia, I got to give my hats off. What a ride by Team Australia as a team to set this up. If they don't win, though, what a heartbreak, because nobody else has done anything.
I disagree. I can see someone as well commenting on the Zwift feed. I feel bad for Team Australia. Why? They didn't get someone in the front group. Like, come on. Like, this is the whole point.
Call. I'm with you there.
If you're not in the front, like if you don't see the moves happen, I don't feel sorry for you.
But then I don't feel sorry for them, but then all the other teams are just sitting on. It's like not doing any work.
Well, that's their problem. They needed to get a rider up there. That's
good call. That is true. That's just racing. I say
it like I say
That is just racing. No, and that's true. That is just racing. Well, if they don't want to work, they don't have to. Maybe they don't want to win. And Australia, they just have look, we think that we can win and we're going to sacrifice on the front and we're going to do the work. That's what they're here for.
This time is coming down. We're down to looks like about 11 seconds coming down to this group. And the question I have is, who sat in the most in this lead group of 5? Because that person could be the danger person. I'm looking at their watts per kg and...
Good question. Really good question.
Spencer here, I know I keep coming back to him. He has got the lowest watts per kg and the lowest watts out of that whole front group that have been riding, and the lowest heart rate. This rider from Team USA has been sitting in and, quote unquote, relaxing. So I'd be watching out for them. Because the closer they get to the bottom, they could just go,
Go.
all in
Like,
bottom to top.
boom.
We saw,
Yeah.
just go.
Just
See
7
ya,
watt per kilogram to the top kind of a thing. I
Yeah,
don't know if they can do
exactly.
7
So,
to the top, but I mean, they're going to have to go. They're going to have to hit the bottom of this climb and just go. This is bottom to top
exactly.
right here.
Yeah, Martin Mertens, he was just pushing 8. Then we've got Joe Perot. He was just pushing 8.2 to get back on. These guys they're seeing that time gap come down, and I think they're now saying, "Oh, we need to work a bit harder too." They've just gone under that the banner where they will have picked up another power up, but if they're smart, they would have saved their feather.
Anton is right on here. Anton is right on here. 10 seconds at the start of the climb. They have 10 seconds. Is that enough? Here we go. Keplinger, Austria looking to go for it here. Martins has got 13 watts per kilogram. They still got kicks in them. Anna. If they go from bottom to top here and the pack sits at 6 watts per kilogram with Partridge, it might not happen still. 10 seconds. Is it enough? Is it just enough? They're going to fade though.
I think it could be just enough. But 10 seconds on that climb, that's only going to take them about 2 minutes, maybe not. There've got to be some fresh legs in that chase group. There's got to be those riders who have been sitting in, who have had chasers up the front here, who can come in. Oh, man, the calling has been made that the chase group is going to come. Not long to go. It's a 1700-meter climb.
Keplinger, is Austria going to win a world championship? He's got a feather power up. He just used it here. 53.7 in, 113 of racing down. It's 11 seconds. Jay Vine at the front, hammering for Freddie Ovid. Where's Ovid? Osborne is trying to do what Osborne does. Osborne to the front, 7-7. They're kind of looking at each other still. They're still looking at each other.
They can't look at each other. That's just not going to work. It's got to be.
But that's the tactic that's in their head, right? That's the tactic that they had coming in. He's got 12 seconds. Austria might do this.
I think he could. That is a huge effort. But can the team behind us keep going so hard? Come on, Jay Vine for Aussie. He's got to start moving this. He's got to start pushing really hard. Rainer Keplinger absolutely crunching it out of the saddle. He is looking so good. I just don't know how to
I think he did it. I think he's done it. He just has to get to the top. He has to not fade. Parole, Martins trying to go. They're about to get caught though. 8 seconds behind. Jay Vine just pushes. Jay goes all in. 12 watts per kilogram. Jay Vine at the front of this pack right now. He's getting the gap over the cap. Over this pack now. Keplinger's fading. 8 watts per kilogram. This might come right to the line, Anna. Like literally right to the line.
Everyone's saying he's going to take it. They're saying Keplinger's got it. Not quite sure. I'm trying to keep update with what is happening on this live.
Jay Vine is doing 32 kilometers per hour on a 17% gradient right now. Jay Vine has a second over the rest of the pack. Here comes Freddie Ovid now as well. 5 seconds.
He's got to get it.
5 seconds. I don't think so. I think they're going to catch him. They're going to catch him. No, Vine is coming over. It's going to happen. Here comes Ovid as well. He's going to get caught.
Heartbreaking. Absolutely
there comes the world champion. The world champion just threw down a narrow power up. Jason Osborne. He's going. Ovid is set up perfectly, though. Freddie Ovid. Oh, my gosh. Oh, he's going to get caught at the line. It's right at the line. Keplinger. Oh, it's so close. Vine's going again. Ovid doesn't have it, it looks like. It looks like Jay Vine's going to do it. Oh, here comes the feather power from Ovid. Ovid's trying to go. 12 watts per kilogram from Ovid. Oh my gosh, Jason Osborne is insane. Jason Osborne, what the heck? This guy is a monster. Is he going to get caught at the line is the question. Jay Vine's going to win a world championship. He's done it. Jay Vine won the world championship. What a man. The Vine show, baby. Yeah. Heck yeah, Jay Vine. Oh my gosh. That was awesome.
Oh, wow. That is phenomenal. Oh, awesome job. Gosh. I can't believe it. He was pushing so hard that whole race. Oh my God.
Vine, Ovid, who took third? Osborne. Osborne for third, I think. Wow. Let me check here. That was the best. That was one of the best races I've ever seen on Zwift. Like seriously, that was amazing.
Oh,
that was so awesome. Holy cow.
Oh, what a finish. Oh my gosh. That was amazing. Wow. The chat is like lit up. That is
Oh
funny.
my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Amazing, Jay. I'm so happy for Jay. I'm so happy for him. Like because the Vine show is where this all started for them, right? Like everything
Freddie Overt second, Osborne third, Ben Hill fourth, Aussie 1, 2, 4.
Viasen, good on
Yulistan
Viasen.
fifth.
Oh,
Wow.
Lionel, so close, buddy. So
Hecklinger ended up
close.
7th. Not too bad. Still ended up top
Yeah.
10.
Ends up a top 10
Yeah.
after being off the front like that. I mean, that's a seriously, that is amazing.
Wow. That is so good. Thomas Thrall, Canada 8th. Nikki Hug 9th. Harvard Glendies from Norway in 10th. Wow. Whew. That was some racing.
Wow, chat. Talk about fun. I was really excited.
Yeah.
Can everybody tell I was a little bit excited there? Like, holy cow.
Oh, wow.
So good. What way to make a race, too. Like,
Yeah, that
way
was
to make
good.
a
With the
race.
breakaway. And then I was saying Aussie missed the break, but there we go. They played that well. You know, they put, even Sam Hill did pretty well, and he was doing so much work on the front with Torsten Partridge Madsen. Yeah, they kudos to them. That was the best country performance. Even though I was calling it, if they didn't catch that pack, I mean, there were nervous times there, and they were pushing so hard, but they made it.
Yeah, and they chased it down. I mean, they worked for it, and they went 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
They worked for it, and they went 1-2. I mean, amazing job. Amazing job.
Yeah.
Holy
so good.
cow.
I mean, that rider, that's going to be like, he is winning stage races in real life, and now he's the esport world champion, and he is a Zwift Academy winner. I mean,
yeah. I mean, talk about discovery.
It is the perfect world champion.
Yeah, came out of the community. That's as came out of the community as could be.
Yeah.
And now racing on World Tour. I just saw in chat Jay Vine for Tour de France. I mean, now my question is, does he get to wear does he get little stripes or not? I don't know. I don't know how the rules work there.
No, because you only
get it for the discipline. Yeah.
So he'll get to wear the cool in-game kit when he rides on Zwift. But yeah, that it is a great story, because also what I love about it is, like Ashley Moolman-Pasio, he is an in real life legit racer, and that gives, in my opinion, legitimacy to esport, because people go, whoa, he's winning mountain stages at Pro Tour level. He's also on Zwift doing really well. So people see, yes, you know, it's legitimate.
Yeah, totally. Yep. And that brings it across. That brings it across for sure. How did USA end up? Justin says, did Bruin get the best result? Is that right?
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, no, Ryan Larson, 13th.
Okay, Larson took 13th.
Ferris Snowpins, 13th. The next one was Bruin. Duffy Jr., 22nd. Bouchard Hall, 24th. Zach Neer, 28th. Patrick Whale, 43rd. Dempster, 47th. Looking at best, for any of the Kiwis watching, best Kiwi, Ollie Jones, 20th. So you're right, Nathan, just pinched a bit on that climb. 12 seconds back, though. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, these are just Zwift power results.
Where were you finding the segments for today? Where did you find those?
Oh, I just clicked
Preems?
Preems, yeah.
They're not,
I think it was Preems. Having a look at some other notable names. McGlinchey, 19th from Wahoo Cole. Christopher Team from Beast Mode, 23rd.
It just says that there's just a different level. Those guys.
James Barnes, 26th.
It's just a different level. Like, oh my gosh.
Sam Lindsay, 32nd. Yeah, it's
I'm happy for Lionel though. I'm happy for Lionel. Good on him for on a 5th. I mean, that's still.
I want to make a special call out to Torben Partridge Madsen and Sam Hill. Ended up 61st and 62nd. Put the work in for their team. Absolutely. Jay Vine needs to shout those guys out for getting them
Well, it
on
would
the front.
they wouldn't have been there.
collecting them
He
back.
wouldn't
Yeah,
even have been there because
exactly.
how many seconds did the breakaway rider lose by? What, 2? Let me see here. Where is he? He ended up
Oh, he was
3 seconds. 3
3
seconds.
seconds off. Yeah. So
Right? How much
mhm.
time did they bring back? 20?
Yeah.
Like, he would have won the race if they didn't do what they did. He would have hands
Yeah.
down won the race. Those guys made it happen for Ovid and Vine for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, they need to have a little special shout out from Jay Vine.
Did
Maybe
they
send
just
them
shout us out? Did
case
they
of
just
beers.
shout us out on the broadcast?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm not sure. Anyways, there was something. I wasn't sure something was said there. I wasn't sure if it was.
Oh, they just said on the Zwift, someone's commenting that the commentators need to be laying praise on Sam Hill. That's that commentary. Our little watching party are laying a lot of praise on Sam Hill and Torben Partridge Madsen. So huge efforts there from those guys.
Yeah, big effort. Well, okay, guys, that was our watch party.
Yeah.
We've got new world champions. Luis Adegeist and Jay Vine have made it happen. That's going to be the hype for the next month, like at least of all Zwift community broadcasts. The next year,
I know.
like
That's
that
awesome.
was super exciting, everybody. Next week, Zwift Racing League, Anna. We're on the Lettuce. People are calling it the Lettuce Express.
I think it's Lutece.
Latisse? Yeah, it is Latisse.
I've got
Latisse
a really sad I'll share my sad story. So our team, when we came up with who's racing what races in the Zwift Racing League, at the start of the season, I was like, oh, well, I'm not a sprinter, so I won't do the Lutece Express. And then now I feel like I am a sprinter and I'm devastated I'm not racing. So any teams out there who need a guest rider, I am frothing to get involved. So let me know.
So you're DSing?
Well, I would rather race. We don't need a DS. We've sewn up the series, the last race. I'll kind of if we've sewn up the series by the last race is whatever goes. So there's no DS needed. It's just go do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, gotcha. Right on. Duncan McRae says that was okay, but we're really excited about the Datterday Dirt Race next weekend. That's where it's at.
And is this exciting? Yes.
Yes, they're always this exciting, Jeremy. It's always, you get the Donkey Kongs, the Donnybrooks, you get the whiteboards, you get Kate letting us know about the birds attacking her in Australia. I mean, it's always we've got the toast as well. I mean, there's and we got cheese rollers coming through. I mean.
That's what we did. Yeah, great.
So, we don't usually eat on broadcast, but we got the Gouda cheese. Maybe that'll be a part of it as well too now. So, all right, everybody, make sure to hit those follow buttons, do all that good stuff, comment, like, share the streams, let everybody know that this is the place to go for all things Zwift Community Live. We'll be back at you on Tuesday all day long, Zwift Community Live, for the final race in the regular season. Anna will be the first one up with Kate next to her, obviously on APAC. Anything exciting to tell everybody to show up for that? You going to be doing some whiteboard for everybody?
Oh, yes, I will be. I'm thinking the whiteboard actually this week is going to be the triple power up, which this is one of the only courses in all of Zwift. I think it is the only course you can do a triple power up. If you want to know what that is.
You have to show up.
Yeah, you have to show up and listen to my
If
Independs.
you don't know what a triple power up is, you got to show up for Independs, new segment that we're doing at the beginning of the broadcast, so that when you're in the pens and you come to the broadcast, you can figure out, hey, what's the tactic for the day? And Anna's going to bring her whiteboard. Sounds like it's an extra big light whiteboard for this week. You might also get some fashion police on you as well. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate all of you, and we will see you next week for ZRL. Congratulations to the world champions, and as always, everybody, ride on.